There, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
When your tax refund comes, put it on the floor and walk on it. Revitalize the look and feel of your home with new floors from Prattville Carpet. With faster and better service than the big box stores and luxury vinyl planks starting as low as $4.99 per square foot. You'll enjoy that tax refund turned flooring every single day.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
Dial 285-8117 or visit PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Hey, listen, I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a fella in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his can.
I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. They broadcast me out on the radio.
I got worms.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views on a Friday. As we call it online, Joey Clark Live. Like and subscribe, folks. Or join us on the X platform if you don't like YouTube, at the Joey Clark. Eddie Bader is here. How you doing today, Eddie?
Pretty good. How you doing, buddy?
Doing all right. We also have Craig Monger of 1819 News. How you doing today, Craig?
I'm just finer than frog's hair.
Finer than frog's hair.
Yeah.
Now, Eddie sent me one of those, like, bad cartoon, like, video memes.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sure you've seen these, Craig, where it's what is it? It's like very southern people. That one time, my grandma outdrank a whole road crew up there.
Is that those two old dudes on like a boat or?
No, this is like an animated, really bad animation on top of that.
My boy got straight A's, so he gets to go pick out an R-rated movie.
It's people we know.
Yeah, it's like real people saying stuff, and they put these bad cartoons on top of them, and it's very, very, very funny.
It's not even funny to me because that was my life.
Right.
So much
I
of my
mean,
family.
right. You're just like, oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, did your parents ever pay you for grades?
No.
Yeah, mine didn't either, but I heard some kids. You ever do that, Eddie? Pay for grades?
Oh, I paid for bad grades. I paid in a really bad way. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Now, I just want to read some headlines because a lot going on right now. Apparently, Candace Owens is trending because Jeremy Boring of the Daily Wire, they parted ways.
Oh. Yeah, it was inevitable.
Right.
Yeah.
It looked this way, and this is clearly over the war in Israel.
Oh, obviously.
And Gaza.
Yeah.
Biden mocks Trump for being out of cash. As the judge in that case, the property case, he overvalued his properties, even though the banks didn't lose any money and the banks said he was a great client. Don't punish him. And just like socialists say, we know better than you. But that judge is giving the Independent Monitor, Napolitano filled me in on this on Tuesday. Trump is having trouble, or was, we'll get to why it's was now in a second. Trump was having trouble with getting the $500 million bond, because there is an independent monitor assigned by the judge over the entire Trump organization. So it was really checkmate, it seemed, to where the monitor would not let them sell out or merge with other companies that are part of that Trump organization. And the judge is yet demanding, you better pay this bond or Letitia James, the AG, is going to start seizing properties. But here's the deal. Trump's Truth Social, it must be independent. Truth Social is officially to go public via SPAC merger, SPAC merger, with his stake worth $3 billion plus.
Does he have the sole stake?
I don't know.
Dude, that's a lot.
That is a huge amount.
Chunk of change, so I would hope.
What did Twitter sell for? Was it 7?
No, it was 40 something.
Was it?
Billion, yeah.
Oh, man, my memory stinks.
Yeah, I think that's what it ended up being. It ended up being quite a lot. But Trump is now coming out today saying, I have the $500 million in cash.
He's got it.
I can afford the bond. So that's where I want to start with, just right from the horse's mouth, Donald John Trump. Oh, by the way, also trending with Candace Owens is Christ is King. There's a lot of those comments underneath. We'll get into where the right-wing internet culture is going. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Absolutely fascinating.
Bizarre.
But here's Trump coming out saying, hey, I've made this bond. Through hard work, talent, and luck, I currently have almost $500 million in cash, a substantial amount of which I intend to use in my campaign for president. The often overturned political hack judge on the rigged and corrupt AG case, where I have done nothing wrong, knew this, wanted to take it from me, and that's where and why he came up with the shocking number, which, coupled with his crazy interest demand, is approximately $454 million. I did nothing wrong except win an election in 2016 that I wasn't expected to win, did even better in 2020, and now lead by a lot in 2024. This is communism in America. Wow. So, and Trump's right. In certain polls, he is leading by a lion's share, including crucial battleground states. This is Trump leading Biden, according to a CNN poll in Michigan, 50-42. Wow. 8-point lead. That's huge. Now, Trump and Biden, I believe in the same CNN poll, are tied in Pennsylvania. Tied at 46-46.
In his home state.
Right.
That's a big deal.
Right. And it's not looking good. And I still maintain Biden will not be the guy. And these few months before the convention are the most dangerous time for old Joe from Scranton.
He's right in Pennsylvania.
On lunch, mugs, held hard at. Not a joke, Joe. What a sloppy bastard.
Dude, he's such a mess.
He really is. And I love how everybody's like, yeah, he did a great job at State of the Union. Yeah, he was able to go up there and read words.
Often incorrectly.
Right.
Yep.
If that's your standard, the only standard for delivering a good speech in that office is to read the words that were written for you, Ron Burgundy style, and he didn't do that. He said Lincoln Riley, for God's sake.
And then he not just apologized, or he clarified. They didn't even apologize, said the White House press corps or press office. He just clarified that I shouldn't have said illegal. I should have said undocumented, because that part was worse enough.
Yeah.
That he got the woman's name wrong, the beautiful young woman's name wrong. Just sorry. The image of Lincoln Riley comes to mind when you talk about her. It's just awful. Not only did he get her name wrong, he then said, I shouldn't have called him illegal because they built this country. The hell are you talking about? Are you talking about like the Polacks, like my ancestors and the Italians came over on the boats, like at the turn of the 20th century? What the hell are you talking about? The Irish that were sent off to war in the Civil War?
I know he's not talking about descendants of the or members, people who were involved in the African slave trade. He's not calling them illegals, is he? That would be...
Yeah, that's not exactly... They didn't come here voluntarily, Joe. You definitely ain't black. What the hell, man?
The worst thing about it is when he was looking for that pin. I don't know if you've ever seen like a live performance of like Ozzy Osbourne in the past 10 years. Because he actually does have Parkinson's, and when he's trying to like meddle with the microphone cord, that confused, just stumbling around. Watch a video of Ozzy Osbourne performing in his, now later years. He looks just like Joe Biden, just trying to find something. It's hilarious.
I think Ozzy in this state makes like War Pigs even more ominous and awesome. Yeah. Like
we're doing paranoid. Finish with my... Oh, sorry.
So let's now shift to state matters. What a surprise. The gambling legislation stalls after those Senate changes. What a surprise.
I actually got to talk. I actually got to talk to Chris Blackshear, who's the sponsor of it in the House. We were at the softball, the House versus Senate softball game, and I told him I tried to get a betting line on this game, and just where's it going? It's like, it's not legal. And it seems like the differences between the House and the Senate aren't even going to allow them to go to conference committee, because for those who don't know, when the House and Senate can't agree, they go to a joint conference committee where members from both try to arrive at some sort of compromise, but I think they're just miles apart.
Now, if you had to make the binary choice, if you had to pick the Senate language or the House language, it's not going to happen, and I think all three of us here kind of sitting here would go, well, it's not the language we would write. But if you had to make a binary choice between the House or the Senate, which way would y'all go?
I'd have to say the Senate because it's happened far too frequently in the state when we try to bite off a huge chunk. It's inevitably a fustercluck, and and I think that the Senate version would be a more incremental step in one direction and less likely to be a monumental disaster.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, that's. I think
100%.
we're all in agreement there. The Senate. What is it in the old Latin and the Roman? It was old men.
Yeah.
And there's something about wise old men. And they're in the Senate smaller. They can kind of work together quietly, for better or for worse.
I'll be honest with you. I think I think they wanted it to pass. The House did. Blackshear did.
Mm-hmm.
I think the main thing they want to do is just put it on the Senate's back because the last gambling legislation was voted down in the House. I think they wanted to do a tag
Kick
kick
it up a notch.
Yeah.
See, when they play these games, though, like, who cares? I guess the insiders care.
Yeah.
Maybe some of the donors care. But, like, the average Alabamian's like, what are y'all even talking about?
Yeah.
Like, go play softball some more. Were you
Yeah.
there at the softball game?
I was.
Oh, I should have gone then.
You should have. Unlike it was boring, but that's only because I don't eat hot dogs and drink beer or pretzels and stuff like that, which is the only reason to attend those things. But
Right.
it was a lot of fun. It was impressive to see the efforts of some people that are, not spring chickens.
Sure.
I tell you, Jabbo Wagner, I will never forget what you will about his politics. The man, I would love to have his physical and mental capabilities if I even make it to his age. It never ceases to amaze me how in his late 80s he's able to perform both in politics in the Senate and obviously see him playing catcher on the ball field. It was tremendous. The man never ceases to impress me.
Yeah, some folks do have the juice there.
Yeah. And again, it's just such a stark distinction between a Jabbo Wagner and a Joseph Biden.
Yeah,
It's like, this is what healthy old looks like.
Right, exactly.
And this is what unhealthy old looks
Well,
like.
and even to Trump's credit, Trump looks older, but Trump still sounds and looks like Trump, even from several years back. And then, there are a few folks there at the State House that aren't they former athletes? I think
Stadhagen was a former athlete,
like a brick house of a man.
I will say, no disrespect to Chris Blackshear, I think that Stadhagen deserved the MVP of that game. They both get, when the House did a resolution, they acknowledged both Stadhagen and Chris Blackshear. But I saw Stadhagen dive to make plays that I was positive would have ended his evening. But no, he kept on chugging and he made some pretty significant plays.
And maybe this is inside to me. I guess I should critique myself. But your headline, whether it's you or somebody else, the headline for that story was masterful. Here it is, Eddie. Senate narrowly avoids blowout in loss to House in Battle of Goat Hill softball game. I just love it. They narrowly avoid a blowout.
The only point they scored was in the last inning. They made one run in the last inning. I mean, how else would you describe that? No disrespect. I mean, they certainly rubbed it in the face of the House for the past 2 years.
And now I think Trent Baker has a story out saying Birmingham Mayor Woodfin has been very quiet following the anti-DEI passage, the legislation passed and signed now by Governor Ivey. He was making all these threats beforehand that he was going to tell black athletes, don't come to the state of Alabama.
I do remember that.
And now following, after this has become law, he hasn't said a word on social media.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Lots of crickets.
And I think he was bluffing because it's also a dumb thing to threaten. Right. It's like, what are you talking about? People love sports. It's a great state for sports.
We've had mayors say that if we don't do this, then I'm going to advise businesses not to come here.
Right. Yeah, give me a break.
Right.
Really?
There's plenty of mayors who would be like, oh, we'll take you.
Thank you.
Right.
That's how capitalism works, yo.
And I'm not doubting that the ESG DEI thing is all the rage in corporate America, and it might be crucial to certain corporations when they come here, but it's not the main factor. Give me a break. It's not the main factor.
No, and most people, like you said, with like with the gaming stuff, most people don't care.
Right.
They just don't care.
Exactly. They're just going along kind of with the herd or the crowd or.
It's like they think you're a star high school athlete, and you're like, okay, I could either go to X school or Y school. Well, which one has the best DEI? No.
Yeah, who cares?
No.
Yeah, right.
And if you are, you're not going to be a very successful athlete.
Right. Probably not.
Ask, what was homeboy's name?
Kaepernick?
Kaepernick, baby. Yep.
He was a subpar quarterback who decided to make up for his subpar athleticism by focusing on social issues, and he looks like a boob.
Yep.
What was the Theo Vaughn name he gave to Kaepernick?
Oh, dude.
Oh,
throws apart.
Throws apart.
Yeah, throws apart.
Genius. I freaking love Theo Vaughn. And then you have a story out, and we'll get into more of the details later.
Oh,
but
can we please?
Absolutely. Read Freely, Alabama, racking up L's in effort to keep sexually explicit children's books in libraries. And it's, of course, recently stuff happening with the Prattville Public Library. But it's all around the state, right? And the nation, I think, is... Correct me if I'm wrong, and again, we'll get into the details at a full segment, but Read Freely is part of sort of the, I would say, astroturf of the ALA coming out of Chicago.
Yeah.
And not direct cutout, but,
No, well, they are getting support from every library, which is, for all intents and purposes, seems to be some sort of ALA shadow organization. Right. So, I mean, you can follow you don't need a tin hat to really follow that trail.
And honestly, I'm not even saying like, oh, how dare they? I'm like, this is how politics is played in this day and age. Yeah. It's just fascinating to connect the dots that a lot of these local organizations ain't all that local. They got local people, but a lot of the messaging is, I'll put it this way, the ideas in this country are probably given out by a few thousand people.
Yeah.
The original thinking out there, myself included, is sometimes lacking in this day and age.
Very, very spare.
And, federal judge, we had Becky Gertson call about this the other day, is considering now sanctions on 11 lawyers over their judge shopping in the transgender surgery ban lawsuit. Mm-hmm. This judge is pissed off at these folks.
Lyle Burke is not happy.
And so there's so much we can get into, including a police warning. The police are warning of a new law as Orange Beach is expecting the invasion of spring break to roll through. So might want to pay attention. There might be a new law in them parts of the state. Before we hit the break, let's go to Soldier Boy. Hey, Soldier Boy.
What up, Soldier Boy?
Hey, here's what I want to ask you. Two talking points today. If you want to meet a lot of extreme progressive liberals, there's two places that they hang out at. You know what that is? Public libraries and Subaru dealerships.
What's wrong with a Subaru?
Very dependable.
It is the preferred mode of transportation.
Wait, are you calling my brother gay?
No, a lesbian.
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 Progressive liberal.
No, he's not.
Isn't there?
My brother has sapphic
If
tendencies.
I wore my "Let's Make America Great Again" hat in there, man, they're ready to put me on a steak and grill me like I did on Gilligan's Island, baby. I'm telling you, it's pretty bad.
I was thinking Last of the Mohicans.
Did you guys get to watch the video yesterday of the couple of hundred? They called it 100. I could count higher than that. I don't know what public school math they went to. Those illegal immigrants breaking through the border down there in El Paso.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Now,
crazy video.
Wait a minute, that's not a definition of invasion?
Yeah, that was pretty nuts.
ACO, wake up, girl. I know you got a junk in your trunk and you're looking good when you're walking in that tight dress. But, girl, you don't know what the definition of invasion is. Because when I was stationed, I was in Kunsan and Osan, Korea, and I had the opportunity to go to the DMZ. And let me tell you something. North Korea knows how to put a border up. Let me tell you. I mean, I was in the DMZ line, in that room, and there's a line across it. Of course, there was nobody in there at the time. And I said, what happens if I cross it? He said, well, technically, you're in North Korea, and you can be shot. And that North Korean guy, man, the guard in the corner just looking at me and just eyeballing me like, son, man, the DA ain't going to help your ass if you come across this room. Okay?
Oh, yeah. He was looking for a clean shoot, buddy.
Oh, it's one room.
Yep.
He's not going to miss me at all. And I don't have a weapon. He's like loaded from one in the chamber. And they were telling me, as they went to the tour, that the landmines they have out there around their country is the most in any other place in the world.
Right.
That's like one every quarter of a foot.
Though Ukraine these days might give them a run for their money.
Well, I don't know. That DMZ looks scary. When you look across that field and you see that emptiness out there, you're like, how lucky do I feel running across there? There's no barbed wire, but will I make it, you know?
Well, and given that you've been there, given that you serve, can you imagine what those guys, whether you're talking the Pacific Theater or you're talking the Korean War, what those guys actually had to go through? That sort of fighting. Wow.
Oh, man, I tell you. Now, here's my thing about it is, I was scared, first of all, was the National Guard there for decorations, for home interior or something? Because they didn't do anything. They were afraid to do anything because last time Biden threatened the horse whippers. Remember the horse whipping guys? He never apologized for that either, old man Biden. With juiced up guy, let me call him juiced up. Jacked up or juiced up? Juiced up. And he, if they would have made, you got to admit, I guarantee that liberal cameras are rolling, waiting for them to even, Did you know like 6 or 7 got hospitalized? The National Guard soldiers.
Really, I did not know that.
Oh, you're not going to hear about that.
I saw the video. I did not see that a lot got injured. Here.
What are they holding their hands? Red Rover, coming to send an illegal alien over?
Well, it's the reason they banned that game at school.
Is that what they did?
Mm-hmm.
Because they just didn't hold the line enough, and they got overran. So what's next? We're not being invaded? That's an insult to soldiers that fought during World War II, in Vietnam, and every other war. You know, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What are they there for, Joey? For decoration?
Yeah,
symbolic.
That's pretty much
processing, essentially.
Yeah.
Oh, processing. I was there with their little notepads and their little iPads and everything, ready to rock and roll with the Chromebooks.
Yep.
Right. That is the border being secured, Soldier Boy.
Mm-hmm.
That we're welcoming all these folks in. I'm right out of time here. What else you got?
All right, man.
Appreciate it. Later.
Later, bud.
272-9228. If you want to hop in on the program, again, that's 334-272-9228. Before the break, this part of News and Views brought to you by River Region Contracting. And their River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and his team are ready to help you out with that roof of yours. They're called the premier roofing contractor in these parts for good reason, because they understand whether you have an asphalt or a metal roof, you should have it inspected every 3 to 5 years. Now, that's what the manufacturers recommend. I say do it more often. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, agree. At least once a year, especially if you got somebody like them.
Well, because their inspections and estimates at River Region Contracting are always free.
Exactly. And the way that we have the weather around here, like it's going to be 70 degrees and rainy. And
right.
You know, Joey, as well as I do, we're probably going to get snow before spring.
Right.
It always snows in April. If it's going to snow in Alabama, it's usually in April.
You're predicting snow, really?
Don't you remember thunder snow?
Or the squirrels on the wrong side of the tree this year or something?
No, it's just time. We're due.
But you're right. The crazy weather means you probably should get the roof checked out a lot more often.
Oh, certainly.
And also, here's the great news. Not only are those inspections and estimates free, they're also insurance specialists at River Region Contracting, so they can walk you through a claims process if you have that insurance company, and they can make it a swift and easy process. So check them out today. That number for River Region Contracting, 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them, well, you heard about him here on News and Views in the afternoon.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Madness is happening right now. But the real action is happening at Toyota of Montgomery. Score our biggest Toyota savings of the year. That's on our biggest selection of new Toyotas in stock. Like the game-winning 2024 Camry, now $299 a month. Trade in your old car. No matter what it is, no matter where you got it. We'll give you up to $2,000 over book value for it. And they're here. The Toyota of Montgomery All-Stars. Shop and save thousands on our certified pre-owned Toyotas. They're just like new Toyotas, even come with a warranty, but cost thousands less. Want in on the action? Hurry before it all ends March 31st. Dribble down to Toyota of Montgomery online at toyotamontgomery.com. Part of the Sutherland Automotive Group. Camry LE, MSRP 30,958, 12,000 miles per year for 36-month leases with 3638 due at signing. $0 security deposit with accrued credit. Trade value is based on excessive wear, tear, and mileage, plus tax, tag, title, and $9.95 dock fee. Offer ends 4/1/2024.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, you will immediately see the difference in pricing. Not only do we offer the most competitive rates, but our closing costs rank among the lowest in the industry. How do we do it? Because we can. We do not have the overhead that big banks and lenders do. Those big banks and lenders have big expenses. And what do? They pass those expenses along to you. Meanwhile, here at Alabama Home Mortgage, we receive wholesale rates which result in big savings that we pass along to you. Don't pay more for less. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our rates and pricing are just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
We've all fallen into boring routines. We just keep doing what has to get done. Isn't it time to escape the old routine and make time for yourself? Make time to go out with old friends. Make time to add excitement back into your life. Make time to feel like a winner again. Life is more fun when you live it. So what are you waiting for? Escape every day at Wind Creek Casino and on the Casinoverse app.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Major General Mike Summerall, former Adjutant General of the Alabama National Guard, urging the Alabama State Legislature to pass the Veterans Access to Care Bill. Both VA medical facilities and private clinics are failing our veterans. We're dying by suicide at twice the rate of non-veterans and experiencing opioid overdoses in increasing numbers. This legislation will give veterans and their families access to the specialized care they need and deserve.
Paid for by the Alabama Council of Chapters Military Officers Association of America, Mobile.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth, and if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-367-6289. 800-367-6289. 800-367-6289.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
News happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Already getting some response from the comment section. First comment of the day from Romex Angler. Can't get any more casually dressed than this. Well, you don't threaten us, sir. We can get more casually dressed than this. I actually have pants on.
You're going to have to try harder if you want to see me without a shirt, bro.
Yeah, that's just... Well, that's pretty low cut. Is that like a workout shirt?
No, it's a shirt that I've taken. My neck is rather large, so traditional collars get to be a bit.
Yeah, feels like you're being strangled.
A bit. So I just cut the collars out of some of my shirts. It's a style.
Right. Joe Biden has dementia, says Kim Mayton. Thank you, Kim.
He has dementia.
Good afternoon, everyone, says Sizzling Spam, but we really know it's Sam from Pike County.
Right.
He brought us donuts.
Yeah, he did.
Earlier this week. Very nice.
Have you ever had a Hertz donut?
A Hertz donut?
I had a donut that hurt one
You're
time,
too far away. Typically what you do is you say, have you ever had a Hertz donut? Someone says no, and then you punch him in the arm and you say, Hertz donut.
Oh.
Right.
But you're too far away, and I didn't want to throw anything. So.
Have I ever told you about this new thing I got, Up Dog?
What up, dog?
You just ruined it.
Because it's a
fourth grade joke, I know.
Okay.
You ruined the good joke.
Not a good joke.
Let's go to Urban Knight. Hey, Urban Knight, how you doing?
I'm all right. Are we going to be okay when we have this conversation?
Depends on what you say.
Oh, let's start then. Let's start with some ifs and then statements on our friends on the border. Theoretically, according to the media, they caught most of them. But my thing is this. Why aren't our Republicans using this right now to emphasize insurrection and the violence at the border?
Because nobody will listen.
Correct. The Insurrection Act hasn't been invoked since the Civil War.
Okay, well, how about this? How about we make a big statement about using force, authorized deadly force at the border?
That is a solution, but it is one that would play terribly on the news.
Right.
Well, no. It may play terribly on the news, but how does the general American feel about that? The United States citizen, sorry. I feel about the brainwashing. The United States, how would the average United States citizen feel about it?
I'd imagine in red state America, you probably get a lot of support for that.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, and I don't even think the world court can argue with that, especially the way those people came through the border, the way they came through.
Yeah, it was
I
nuts.
don't think the world court would have a comment on that one.
I think the world courts would still. I think the international community, the UN, Amnesty International. I think that if that were the case, it would be a excrement storm of the likes of which America has not ever seen. Now, I'm not saying I disagree with it, but I'm saying it would. The reason they don't is because it would create such a problem in the international community that I don't think any sitting president or governor, for that matter, wants to swallow that giant pill.
But I hear you saying, and I feel that the threats would be out there. But I'm trying to see, what could the threats actually be? What would they be based on?
Oh, when you say threats, do you mean from the courts and the international community?
Yeah, if a group storms a border of a country, a sovereign country, what do you have for your? I don't get what your standing would be. What could be the standing? No matter how you try to shape it.
Crimes against humanity would probably be what they would claim. War crimes, maybe. I doubt it would be war crimes because there's not an actual war.
I see what you're saying, Urban. Practically, the United States, I think, is still powerful enough we could say go kick rocks.
Agreed.
But a lot of the folks that run our government care very much what, say, the international community says. No, I think you could accomplish what you're going for if you just let the National Guard loose to actually hold people back, even with non-lethal means. They have that these days with sonic, directed energy weapons and all sorts of stuff.
And look, I empathize with them because I would have hated to have been there, because I guess the only order I would have given would have been to fire in the air, just to add to the, okay, we're going to come at you next with the bullet if you don't slow down. But I don't know if it would have done anything in that situation, to be honest.
Yeah, and for folks who didn't see the video, it's not many National Guard soldiers by any means.
It's a couple.
It's just a few of them, but they're kind of in line blocking an entrance saying, hey, stop. They're essentially saying, let us process you guys.
Yeah.
Like, hold on. They after they say stop, these folks, it's a huge crowd of folks storm through them, knocking them down and all sorts of stuff.
And that's where all the international law and all the PR gets jumbled up in, I know with the right force, we'd be okay, because when they stormed and you saw they physically removed barriers and stuff and was jumping on top of the guardsmen.
Right.
It's obvious you are doing something you shouldn't be doing. And I don't remember when the Syrians, was it the Syrians or the Greeks? Remember that last thing they had in Europe where they bum rushed the border?
Vaguely.
Was it Syria or was it Greece?
I think it was Greece, if memory serves.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have been just like that, and I think they did get the fire, didn't they? They're true.
No, I don't. I think what had happened was they had a massive surge of people just running across the Greek border, and nothing happened, and then you just stopped hearing about it on the news.
Well, and if there was shooting, it could have been Turkey right next to Syria.
Yeah. Well, Turkey doesn't mess around.
Yeah.
Turkey doesn't mess around.
Well, and to your point, Urbanite, we're not the same country. We're not the same people that actually, say, pulled off denazification in post-war Germany, and that wasn't pretty by any means. We're just different people are running the show now. Well, and did you see Blinken comes out and the United States tries to put through a motion at the UN Security Council of saying, we need a ceasefire. Do not go into Rafah. Do not kill all these civilians. Russia and China vetoed it.
Sure did.
Which is, to me, is a play that's bigger than the actual conflict. It seems like they're now saying, no, we're not even going to play ball on anything. That stuff we even agree with.
That's funny. No, it's funny that our people are so naive and so disconnected from how things actually work in the world.
Yep.
And you know what's funny? Of all the people, he should be one of the smartest guys in the room. A, because they said that's what he was on paper, but you know he's the son of a diplomat.
Right. But
Yeah,
a lot of these
I
guys
don't
got
know.
used to this, the unipolar moment, or even the Cold War, where a lot of folks, a lot of countries would just do what we said. And now that's changing. This is why I keep bringing up how we're losing world reserve status. It's under 50% now. There's so many things changing.
And I told, I think I mentioned it to you, it's the State Department that's screwing a lot of things up. And unfortunately, the State Department has a bigger budget than the Defense Department.
Right. And they're hand in hand with the intelligence community. And the State Department runs a lot of stuff. Foggy bottom. I really would love Trump to just take a video camera, storm into those offices like, I need to see the documents right now.
Let me see them.
We're live on X. Thank you, Elon.
How you doing?
Yeah, have a good one.
272-9228. And just as he's getting the documents, X craps out. Because it keeps happening to Elon. It happened to DeSantis on X. Oh, give me a break. Let's go to Red Top. Hey, Red Top.
What's up, Red Top?
Hey, good Friday, gentlemen. And very quickly about Starship, they're in a 6-week turnaround to get another one up, and they're applying for I think it's called a legacy permit, which they have given to NASA before, somebody that's going to be doing lots of flights so they don't have to go through this FCC approval every time, and they plan on doing 6 to 9 flights by the end of the year. These guys are going to get that damn Starship down.
I still love, even though I've seen it now several times, those initial boosters coming back and landing.
So cool.
Just so cool.
It looks like something literally out of a movie.
Well, and I was showing Eddie yesterday, I believe. I don't know if you've seen this, Craig. It was some big presentation by NVIDIA about the robots. And at first they showed off, these are the humanoid-looking ones. And then they said, hell, here's the Star Wars Disney ones now. And they were pretty fully functional, cute little robots. I'm like, I'd rather have that in the house than any one of these humanoid freaks.
Oh, yeah. Like an R2-D2 type thing would be much C-3PO.
It looked like Wally kind of, and like it had that personality to it.
Wally.
They were like arguing with the guy when they're like walking, like, no, come on. It was great.
If you remember, Robonaut's been made for quite a few years and ready to operate. NASA's way the hell of the game. Now let's get to this 100 people that stormed that gate. I hate to say it, should have had their asses shot at. That would happen any other country in the world. And let me tell you what's ironic about urbanizing people like that. This gentleman doesn't realize that the black population is now no longer the majority in America, and especially not now that 6 million Latinos have been let in. The more they support the Democrats, the farther down the ladder their demographic group goes. And they seem to be way too stupid to realize that.
Well, and I've always thought that there's a loyalty of an ethnic group or race. I'll put it this way. I understand it to a degree with the African American, with the black experience in America, because you needed solidarity in order to fight the political fights you needed. You really are, when you're 13%, the minority, makes some sense to have solidarity. But when you're talking about a massive Hispanic Latino population that is from all different sorts of cultures and countries, like, why are you betting on them wanting to get along, number one? And especially when you're talking about American citizens who believe in the rule of law just as much as, anybody else. So I've always thought this demographics is destiny crap is just the wrong way to go.
Well, it's what is it? The Olinsky plan, divide and conquer.
Yeah.
They go down that damn road.
I thought that was Napoleon.
Verbatim every day, and there ain't nobody to stop them except for Donnie from Queens. Thank you. Yes, here comes my Popeye's chicken sandwich. So I got to do the important thing.
Yes, sir.
Eat my sandwich. Roll Tide, go Trump. Thank you, guys.
See you, bud.
Whew, man, I like a spicy chicken sandwich. It's good eating right there.
You remember when the spicy chicken sandwich wars were going on?
I do remember that. They need to come back.
Popeyes won.
Popeyes won?
And I had all of them. Popeyes won.
Popeyes I don't go there often, but it is good.
It's fantastic.
It is. But that's just about the only thing I ever get from them.
Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwich is still pretty good, too.
Yeah, it's all right.
So I throw pepper jack on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's good.
Look at you.
It's real tasty. Real tasty. Let's go to Jim. Hey, Jim, how you doing?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Is this Freaky Friday?
It's a Friday free for all.
Yeah.
We're hitting all the headlines and going wherever.
I got two things real quick. First one is directed to your guest there. You work for 1819 News, is that correct?
Yes, I am their star reporter.
Who is your? I'm not going to say rival because they're garbage, but which one of these two organizations really don't like yours? AL.com or this Bill Britt's little group there? You know what I'm talking about? Alabama or whatever that is.
Well,
both of them seem to attack your news site constantly.
Well, I mean, as far as where we stand, we are number 2 in the state. Every Google Analytic fleshes that out. So as far as if you want to consider just as a pure performance level, then the second organization that you mentioned would not be a rival. They are, by definition, our inferiors. But yeah, AL.com is absolutely the number 1 in the state, and they've had the time to do it. But give us time, we'll get there.
Yeah, and I mean, there's no love there, Jim, by any means.
Yeah,
but
AL.com is nothing but a Yahoo News Junior. That's what they are.
And I will say I do have a fairly good relationships with some AL.com reporters that we have to see one another in the course of our job, and it's perfectly polite. And then there are other people on that staff that have been rather unfair, libelous, cruel, even to yours truly. But you have to value human beings in order to value what they have to say.
Amen.
So
I bet one of your favorites is Mr. Whitmire, I guess.
Who?
I don't even know who that is.
Mr. Whitmire.
Jim, why do you call up every Friday and try to start something here?
I think that's Josh Moon's twin brother.
Who?
But,
Jim.
Yes. Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm unfamiliar with the names that you're mentioning.
It's like a Gunsmoke episode.
Okay.
I love you, Jim.
One more thing. I do not watch the ABC, NBC. I hardly ever watch those channels, so I don't get any, political stuff or anything. So I'm watching Gunsmoke and stuff like that. So I did see that. I did not realize. I mean, it's been a while since he's been in office, but I didn't realize that Mr. Dick Brubaker is now a Trump hater. And he hates Trump and he loves tax.
Yeah.
What happened to him?
Well, Brubaker will be on Monday at noon, and Caroline Dobson will be on Tuesday at 2, or I'll have to double check. It might be Thursday at 2. They're both going to be on at a regular schedule all the way up to the runoff. And I've been seeing these ads, and we're going to start talking about
who told her
attacks.
to do that?
Probably her strategist.
Yeah.
People.
Good Lord.
When it's her campaign at the end of the day, but I'm not giving names out, but she's hired some very talented folks, and we'll see what happens.
Dick Brubaker's been around. I've been listening to him on the radio since Don Markwell.
Just say more names that I don't know.
It's just name dropping, man. We get it. You've been around longer than us.
He knows people, Joey.
You're wise. I get you're
very wise, man.
Hey, Don Markwell was the godfather of talk radio around here.
For some reason, the one Markwell story I remember. Remember when Bob Gambakurta was hopping on Greg's show for a while there, Jim?
Yes.
And so Gambakurta started talking about, whereas him and some other guy Against the Morning is the new show, and Markwell talking to him goes, "The morning's winning." And I'm like, yeah, I think I would have liked that guy.
Yeah, he was a good guy. All right, well, that's all I got. I do have 1819 News on my laptop I go to for my news. I took AL off several months ago and flushed them.
And you'll be the better man for it.
Yeah, I've already got a whole new outlook on life.
Should more positive one, and filled with better erudition, might I say?
Well, I appreciate it, Jim.
I feel smarter just from looking at it. So anyway, y'all have a good weekend.
Bye, Jim.
Well, and I do like the idea, though, if we're going to have media wars here in Alabama, let's make it like a Gunsmoke episode. This week, the heavies played by Craig Monger.
No, the problem with these media wars is the idea of a media war is it's so laughable to me because of the history that I have. It's like you can only escalate to a certain point, as with any man, before it takes some sort of physical aspect.
Can always come into blows with men. That's right.
And in that case, what do I have to prove?
Well, and honestly, like, y'all are doing a job. You got a different perspective.
Yeah.
God love you. Do what you're going to do. I'll do my thing.
I don't care. I'll occasionally go back and forth with some folks on Twitter whenever it's just good fun. But
I've seen some of that. It is good fun.
It's oodles of fun,
It's good
especially
fun.
when you're dealing with people that really, the elevator really doesn't go all the way up.
My wife become a fan of yours on Twitter.
Yeah, I've noticed that she's been liking some of my posts, and I'm like, that's a pretty unique last name. So I'm confident that it's Eddie's wife. But yeah, it's just fun. And the thing is, if you're not able to do what you do, even fight certain battles, if you're not able to do it with joy, don't do it.
Yeah,
right.
There's people that legitimately it bothers them.
Mm-hmm.
Even whenever in November when we had the trouble with the Smith Station mayor, it was a lot to process, but at the same time, it never. The hate never kept me up at night. It never bothered me. I never got litigious.
And also had to be weird because it was just awful. It's tragic.
Very, very.
And so it's just, yeah.
And by the way, I will let you know, I still to this day have to block people because of that whole ordeal. I think I'm up to like 2,000 people blocked right now, which seems light, but I promise you it's not.
No, that's not.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, my style so far has been when somebody says something nasty, I'll like heart it and say, thanks, that's sweet of you to say.
No, see, the thing is, if I think of something that's spectacularly clever, I feel like the world deserves to hear it. Like it would be a crime for them not to be, because up here, there's a lot of brilliance up here.
No,
And
I get too nasty. I admit it. Like if I really go in on it, I get actually angry. I get way too angry and nasty.
The problem is for the people that come after me, just don't be fat.
What?
Like,
Eddie,
just don't.
Eddie's over here judging us.
What are you
What are you
judging?
judging about, old man?
You don't fight on the internet. That's ridiculous. You're going to lose every time.
But it's not. But no, you only lose if you think of it as something to be won, rather than having fun.
Right.
It's like throwing rocks into a pond. Like, you're not winning. It's just a fun thing to
I'm
do.
winning. I'm draining that pond. I'm making that pond
Eddie,
shower.
it's
one
like
rock at a time.
it's like professional wrestling.
Yeah.
You going over tonight, brother, or me?
I got you. I get it. I just.
Well, we got to hit this break.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where dump truck drivers are in demand. Wiley Sanders is on the grow. We need dump truck drivers now. Call 855-77-9785.
Well, hi, everybody. It's another Friday and another Friday storm system with showers and thunderstorms, a good bet, especially in the afternoon and evening hours and well into the nighttime hours tonight. Temperatures held down a little bit by clouds and showers. 64 the high today, 56 the low tonight. Could be a leftover shower early in the day Saturday, but otherwise improvement Saturday afternoon, high 69. And then I think Sunday's a better day with a high in the lower 70s, plenty of sunshine. The next chance of rain coming in Monday night into Tuesday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
ASE Credit Union makes auto loans easy with rates as low as 4.75% APR. Apply online or visit your local branch today. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
Who's there? It's Bill, the electrician, here to make your home burglar-proof. Oh, thank goodness. I thought maybe you were an intruder. No, ma'am. I'm a burglar's worst nightmare.
If your house doesn't have sufficient outdoor lighting, it's a prime target for intruders. That's why you should call Crosby Electric today.
How's it going, Bill? Just fine, ma'am. See, when your intruder trips this wire, it grabs him by the foot and hangs him upside down. Really?
The experts at Crosby Electric will install lighting that not only discourages intruders, but also makes it safer for you and your guests to navigate around steps, pools, and other tripping hazards.
Bill, is that contraption safe? Oh, sure. It's disarmed now, but... Bill, like I said, I'm a burglar's worst nightmare. I see. You mind cutting me down, ma'am?
Avoid your worst nightmare. Call the outdoor lighting experts at Crosby Electric or visit crosbyelectric.com.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man. Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431,
or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. Now, you've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
Hey folks, this is Tammy Burkhalter at Prattville Farm Center, and did you know there's all kind of dogs that we can feed? Like sleep a dog, hot dog, creek dog, swimming dog, hunting dog, shaggy dog, lap dog, window dog, riding dog, hiding dogs, puppy dog, standing dog, hat dog, cozy dog, family dog, even a dancing dog, man. So come see us at 1154 South Memorial Drive in Prattville, and we can even feed your kitty cat too.
Hi, this is Don Duncan with Don Duncan's All-American Automotive and Tire. Just want to say a big thank you to Blue Water Broadcasting. They've been a big partner in our success. And again, thank you guys so much for all you've done for us. If you need anything, come see us. Again, this is Don Duncan with All-American Auto and Tire.
Now you can add the power of digital advertising to the #1 reach of radio. Let Blue Water's 20 years of local advertising and marketing success show you how. Grow your business with a complete suite of digital solutions, combined with the reach of the most listened to radio group in the River region. Call us or go to BlueWaterBroadcasting.com to find out how we can increase your return on investment. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
In Alabama, more than 200,000 of our family members and friends are living without health coverage. Often folks can't stay healthy enough to keep their jobs. We need to fix this. It's time for us to find a way to close the health care coverage gap so that folks can remain in their jobs. Where there's a priority out there, we as Alabamians have always found a way to achieve it. Contact Governor Kay Ivey and let her know. Now is the time to close the coverage gap and cover Alabama.
Paid for by the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm Joey, he's Eddie, he's Craig.
That's the rumor.
What are you humming over there, Eddie?
Huh, what?
You're humming over there.
Got a lot of work to do, dude. Humming right along.
Do we have an imposter on the line?
No, this is a different Eric.
Eric,
we have Eric the dog, and we also have Eric the duck.
Quack, quack.
I didn't do it, Joey. I didn't do it, my friend. I didn't. Whatever I'm accused of, I'm gonna plead not guilty, reason of insanity, my friend. That's about it.
I've heard you're a quack.
I love calling you guys. I love as well as you're a hell of a lot informant. I mean, you're good at, you do your homework. Now you got I call him Scott Bison. Goes, but at any rate, they were fasting this morning. I couldn't get a chance to get on there, man, because I get calls to come in and we're at work, and then I have to hang up.
Right. You got to make a living.
Yeah. I was talking about fasting. I was going to let them know. Hell, I can bring up 10 subjects in one sentence. That's how I can float around in one sentence and bring up 10 conversations.
Can you float around?
That's when you know you're good. But back, man, Joey, I don't know the topic. I'm on my lunch break, but I tell you something, buddy, and that's what I appreciate you, and I appreciate Napolitano.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all hit it out. You knock it out of the park.
Yeah, it's great having him as a guest.
I want you, because I know you always have Lunchbox and me and the dog and Red Top. I really would like Randall, of course. Man, I wish y'all. I've done talked to Sky. Man, let's try to set it up where we can, all of us that I just mentioned, come in there.
Yeah.
You
you be, what do you call that in the political debate?
Moderator.
You be the moderator. Because I tell you, that'd be the best 3 hours.
I mean, you brought this up earlier in the week, and I think it is kind of a fun idea, but we're not allowed to drink on air.
Well, I could do that in the parking lot and then come in.
That's kind of breaking the rule, too.
Well, hell, I can drink it. Look, all the way to the
Gotcha.
You could let a pit bull loose in a chicken coop, and it would be less chaotic than that would be.
Oh, my goodness. No, but at any rate, I think it'd be good because they got such good opinions, and so do I, and so do you. And
well, and I'll tell you, Eric, it's a little different being on this side of it than being on the side of the phone. It's a little different.
I guess it would be.
Like Craig knows, it's a little different.
It's a little different. You get little heart flutters, palms sweaty, knees weak.
You got laws, I'm sure, and restrictions that you have to go by, which I'm not familiar with. I have no earthly idea what radio and communications is like. There's certain things I guess you just can't talk about, certain things you can't do. And
Sure. Please don't do them.
Well, listen, at either rate, I think we're headed for self-destruction, and I know that I just now all of a sudden that Joe Scarborough, the whole damn crew up there, well, the NBC in general, they're out. They're gonna wreck him anyway. And you know, the bad part is,
Eric, I got to run, man. I got to hit my top of the hour.
Go ahead, buddy.
All right, thanks, man.
See you,
Appreciate it. 272-9228. I do appreciate the love, though, kind sir. And it would be fun to run a circus here one day.
He kept talking. I had about 5 duck-related puns in my head that I was just ready to shoot out. I'm disappointed I didn't get to.
You ever seen the video of the duck walking on a gym floor?
Yes, I have.
Look at it.
Yeah, just smack.
That's what I figured. Smack.
And remind you of something? College, maybe? We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The House has approved a $1.2 trillion package of spending bills, just a few hours before funding for some key federal agencies set to expire. The bill now moves to the Senate. In consumer news, Stellantis recalling nearly 318,000 Dodge and Chrysler sedans worldwide. That's because the side airbag inflators can explode with too much force and hurl metal fragments at drivers and passengers. That recall covers airbag inflators on both sides of certain Dodge Charger and Chrysler 300 large cars from the 2018 through 2021 model years. The company says the airbags can inflate even without a crash due to high cabin temperatures. The Dow is down 182 points, but the NASDAQ ahead 45. This is SRN News.
Our government has engorged itself on borrowed money. Now we are over $30 trillion in debt. If this bubble finally implodes, many Americans will be left penniless and heartbroken. For example, what happens if state and federal pension funds go broke, or if 401ks and IRAs get cut in half due to hyperinflation? Hi, I'm Lance Wallnow, news analyst, best-selling author, and evangelical leader to millions of people just like you. People who understand something big is coming. Now's the time to prepare with a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. Precious metals are among the most proven hedges you can make. They're even better inside a tax advantage account. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word FAITH, F-A-I-T-H, to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached, so just text FAITH to the number 989898 right now, and I pray you are blessed with continued prosperity.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From a little fender bender to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For over 35 years, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Well, hi, everybody. It's another Friday and another Friday storm system with showers and thunderstorms, a good bet, especially in the afternoon and evening hours and well into the nighttime hours tonight. Temperatures held down a little bit by clouds and showers. 64 the high today, 56 the low tonight. Could be a leftover shower early in the day Saturday, but otherwise improvement Saturday afternoon, high 69. And then I think Sunday's a better day with a high in the lower 70s, plenty of sunshine. The next chance of rain coming in Monday night into Tuesday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. The Birmingham woman who faked her own kidnapping will not serve jail time. 26-year-old Carly Russell pleaded guilty to 2 misdemeanor counts for filing a false police report. Russell was sentenced to 12 months of probation, 100 hours of community service, and $18,000 to be paid in restitution. Governor Kay Ivey and state lawmakers unveiled a set of bills Thursday with the goal of getting Alabamians back to work. Alabama has one of the lowest workforce participation rates in the country. The 7-bill package titled Working for Alabama aims to get Alabamians back to work. UAB, Auburn, and Alabama will all be playing back-to-back-to-back first-round basketball games today in Spokane, Washington. The fun begins at 12:15 when UAB takes on San Diego State, followed by Auburn versus Yale at 3:15. Alabama closes the day's action against Charleston with a tip-off time of 6:35. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group. Selling a home in the River region in this market takes some planning and preparation to be successful. Here are some steps to take to get your home sold fast. Remember the 5 P's. Prepare the home, fresh coat of paint inside and out, and complete any repairs needed. Professionally clean the home. A deep cleaning of floors, cabinets, windows, and blinds will leave a great impression for future buyers. Provide a home warranty for the buyer to give the buyer peace of mind after the closing. Provide a closing cost allowance for the buyer to help them be able to afford your home. Price your home to sell, not sit. A comparative market analysis from a local realtor will demonstrate what other properties have sold for in your neighborhood. Well-priced homes sell faster with less hassle. Houses are selling fast and sellers are getting top dollar. For all the answers, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883 or 551-0225.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to the program. I'm Joey. We have Eddie Bader here in the house. Hello, Eddie.
We all have blue on.
Yeah, but different shades of blue.
No, but
Craig Monger also here.
I am here, wearing blue.
yeah, somebody sent me a text. You know, you all 3 morons have blue on.
What does that mean? What does
Well,
that
I was
matter?
hoping there were 3 other people in here, and I was the one that didn't have blue on.
Is this going to be like a gang turf war? What's he expecting?
No. Last time we did hats, but you didn't wear a hat, and I didn't feel like good with my hat. Today I didn't wear a hat, and you guys got the hat.
I actually thought I grabbed my 1819 hat off, and it turns out to be this one.
That looks pretty good, though. Good looking hat.
I didn't think about it that much today.
It says Tetelestai, which means it's finished in Greek. Guess what that's from?
No idea. Greece.
The gospel.
Oh.
It's okay. We'll convert you at some point, Eddie.
Good luck. Okay.
Good luck with that.
Good luck with that. I'm a fan of forced conversions.
No, in all seriousness, do you think your generation, like your guys, 50s, like, because it's not just you. Like, I've noticed there are a lot of guys, Gen Xers, who are like, not necessarily they don't believe, they just don't like organized religion at all.
Yeah, I think it's most people my age that I knew and grew up with. Yeah,
It's fascinating. I wonder why.
Have a relationship with God, but I don't. Yeah, I'm not.
I can tell you why. Because it is especially in the South, I will say it's a huge problem. The connection to any sort of historic idea of Christianity has all but gone away. It's sort of Christianity a la carte, sort of take it how you will. There's no, there's no liturgy, there's no confessions. And by confessions, I don't mean the confession of sins for the purpose of absolution as the Roman Catholic Church does. I mean like historic confessions and creeds, like the Nicene Creed, the Apostles' Creed, the 1689 London Baptist Confession of Faith, those sorts of things.
Now, would the Nicene Creed, like, actually still bring Christians together despite all the denominations? Shouldn't it actually... I thought it did kind of. That's what most Christians believe still.
Correct. I mean, it's not sufficient. It's not sufficient to bridge the divide between certain theological differences because there's plenty. I've seen plenty of people able to recite the Nicene Creed while still having heretical views all over the place.
Sure, right.
But traditionally, you've been able to say that someone is a quote unquote Christian based on their adherence if they can proclaim the Nicene Creed. So, for instance, Jews can't obviously do it, neither can Muslims, et cetera, et cetera.
And don't get me started on folks who go to church, whether you're, I saw it in the Catholic Church for certain, but I'd imagine it's other places I've heard about. Well, people go to keep up appearances. Or they go because their wife wants to go. Or there are a lot of folks who are just kind of going along with it. It's a social thing.
Oh, yeah. It's essentially a social club. And like I said, most people don't know what the term liturgy is, much less do they know how, do they have a biblical idea of their own liturgy? Do they have any sort of structure to the liturgy? And it's most of what you see in modern day churches is completely vacuous, vapid, useless, self-help gobbledygook that actually has no connection to the divine. It's how can I take this ancient text, which we say is breathed out from God, but how can I use it to apply to any number of ambiguous circumstances and make good little girls and boys?
Well, and I'll be blunt, I like my Christianity subtle. It's why I'm such a Lord of the Rings fan. I like things that hold on to the basic message and present it in a unique way, but it can go very wrong if you're not actually good at what you're doing.
Yeah, that's how you get like the Message translation is what it's called, which actually, funnily enough, the Message was developed as to help people for people with learning disabilities to have access to scripture, and then people started getting it, and you really lose a lot of the message, pun intended, whenever you water it down. But there's nothing vigorous about modern American evangelicalism. There's nothing potent about it. And I think that's why people lose their interest.
For me, I don't like organized religion because every time I looked behind the curtain, I did not see what I didn't like.
So it's not so much the beliefs, it's the people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is fine, except for, and I mean, I was raised up in the church, but again, every time I look behind the curtain, no, that's not what we're supposed to be doing, and I didn't like to be around a bunch of hypocrites.
But this goes back to what I said. There tends to be, and just from experience, when you have churches that have a high view of liturgy, that have a high view of scripture, that have a high view of the church and have a high view of God, you tend to miss out on all of those because it's no longer a social club. It's people that are covenanting together in the direct worship of God and the communion of the saints as defined by scripture. It's not just we're going to get together, have a potluck every 5 days, and then I'm going to use the Gospel of John to tell you something to make you feel good about yourself. That has no potency because it's not what scripture was intended to do. It's not what the church was intended to do. And for that reason, it fails to fulfill the purposes that the church was meant to fulfill. So you have to do it properly in order for it to work right, and most churches don't do it properly.
And this is well documented in the South's history, and it's also well documented, post Vatican II, where instead of actually reading the liturgy in a detailed, thoughtful way, let's go see Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah.
And which, it's fine, but it's not, you can
But it's
you
not
can do
fine.
both.
It's just
you can do both.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, I don't think any self-respecting Christian should see Jesus Christ Superstar. I saw it when I was not a Christian, and the same thing with Life of Brian.
Let's just say the 60s and 70s were weird.
Yeah,
man.
they were very weird. Did you ever see, by the way, that the Life of Brian interview that they had with the cast, John Cleason and the other guy, and then they had Malcolm Muggeridge and some bishop on the other side, and they were debating sort of the badness versus the goodness of Life in Brian. Have you ever seen this?
Yeah, I haven't seen the debate. I've seen the movie, but I haven't.
No, you have to watch it. It's fantastic.
I'll look
it's
it up.
amazing.
It's just Life of Brian debate. It probably
it'll come up. Yeah.
Cool. Now, I went down this whole God angle, and we're going to start taking calls here because, number one, it continues to come up here on the show.
It has to.
We had one fella, Republican, or no, he didn't say that. He said, I'm conservative. I don't say I'm a Republican. He's like, I don't know how a Democrat could be Christian these days. And we had a Democrat who, I've read his book, I've gotten to know him, Joe, said, I don't see how a Christian could be a Trump supporter. And this is why I keep coming back to, like, actual robust conversations are, the way you have to go. And do it open and in public, even if you might fall on your face like I am prone to do. But I was overlooking a publication. Have you ever heard of Balkan Insight?
No.
BalkanInsight.com?
No.
Well, there's a trial of a Greek journalist ongoing. He's a writer named Demetrius. I think it's Alikakos. It's Alikakos. Alikakos?
Yeah.
Well, it's a trial over his book claiming that the Orthodox Church's Easter Holy Fire is not a miracle started. It's not a miracle. The trial started on Wednesday, will continue through March the 29th. He's saying he's received 3 lawsuits from the Jerusalem Patriarchate. This is where I'm not Greek. And from 2 archbishops for moral damage caused by his book Redemption, the Case of the Holy Fire, published in 2019. They restarted the lawsuit due to the existence of a video testimony. Well, one of this guy's lawyers told the publication. It's been postponed twice. He's on trial for 3 charges: defamation, violation of the confidentiality of oral conversation, and personal data violation. His book contains testimonies in which the archbishops allegedly admit the holy fire is lit by an ordinary lighter and is not a miracle. Of course, yeah. This is like, oh my goodness.
That's where, I mean, again, Eastern Orthodoxy is a vein in and of itself of study. It's not,
and they can't give it up because they're kind of just stuck in a corner.
No, they can't. And again, they put liturgy above everything, which is what really makes them shoot themselves in the foot. But yeah, that's interesting. But you do see it, and this is one of my fundamental problems, I would say, with Roman Catholicism, is you see what happens. South America is the best example of it. When it shows up, it doesn't transform. It turns into this bastard child amalgamation where mysticism meets Christianity in some bizarre way, and you see it in the festivals, especially in South America, the worship of the dead, and and so you see all these quote miracles happening all the time, especially in South American countries where it's like the statue of Jesus, his eyes open, or the statue of Mary starts crying, or in this case, the case of the Holy Fire. It's like you can have a potent Christianity without these false miracles.
Well, and this is why I appreciate it. It's just I guess a blessing of mine. My uncle being a Catholic priest for a long time, I've been in the back room, like where they get stuff ready. It's like, here's how we do the incense. Like it. And there's no mystery to it. They're like, this is how we practically do this stuff. This is where we buy the host for the Eucharist.
Funnily enough, when you read some of the old accountings of people declaring miraculous events, specifically surrounding the Eucharist, there was one story the ancients wrote about where a priest dropped a piece of the Eucharist and somehow it ended up in a beehive. And whenever he went and observed the beehive, he saw that he claimed that the bees had created an altar around the Eucharist and were worshiping it. And there's just so many accounts of that in antiquity of people just making crap up.
Yeah, sure. I agree.
Or people claiming that they've cut open a Eucharist and it's actually bled.
After they go through the liturgy of the Eucharist and transubstantiation, they treat those wafers not like wafers.
No.
Very, very seriously.
Which I don't think is a bad thing.
No.
Obviously, as a Protestant, transubstantiation I think is gobbledygook. But then again, there was a lot of various disagreements among the reformers. Obviously, Calvin and Luther disagreed, and Luther just one time stood up and was like, "Hoc est corpus meum," and just screaming, "This is my body."
Well, and then the disagreements have only gotten crazier. Look at where we are today in America. But here we got all these calls.
Oh yes,
let's go to TS. Hey, TS.
Oh my gosh, hang on. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Craig, I have a couple questions.
I hopefully have some answers.
Well, if you don't, I just want to mess with your mind.
Please.
Okay, I wasn't calling in until you mentioned Tetelstein.
Yes.
I have a bracelet
Mm-hmm.
that is, it's a witnessing bracelet that says Tetelstein.
Wonderful.
And if you want to get one for $6.50 at Blessings in Prattville, Alabama, it's at the Tetelstein website. They're $9.50.
Where was this? Really cool. Where was the store that you mentioned? I'm sorry, you broke up when you came through.
Well, we only have one Christian store left in Central Alabama, and it's Blessings in Prattville, Alabama.
I live a hop, skip, and a jump from there. I might stop by.
Yeah, it's right. It's at 145 North Memorial Drive. And they have thin Tetelestais and they have wide Tetelestais. But I just wanted to share that with you. And then I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that a church is, the congregation is, the church are the people in the church? Do you believe that?
It depends on how you say church. Like, so for instance, in the creed it says, "I believe in one holy Catholic Church." I don't believe in I don't believe that Roman Catholic is synonymous with Catholic, but I mean a universal church, a united and universal church. And I would equate that with being the church invisible, the elect of God, known only to Him, of the redeemed, the population of the global redeemed. That's what I would consider the church proper. Now the church not the church improper, but a localized version of church is the assembled people who make a common confession of faith and have covenanted together to commune together with the true and living God and to bear one another's burdens, go through the liturgy, go through the sacraments together. So I would say that local church is a church, but it is not the church as in a definitive group of people redeemed by God. That church is known only to God.
Correct as is. Now, are you Catholic?
No, I am a through and through Protestant.
Okay. Do you, if you read the Bible, which one do you read?
I typically I will read in the ESV, but if I'm doing detailed study, I use the Greek New Testament through the Accordance Bible software. I'm in the process of learning Greek.
Oh wow!
Oh, you are awesome, and I just appreciate this time with you. And please go by Blessing sometime. It will enlighten and make you feel really good about everything.
That's very kind of you. I will absolutely stop by.
Thank you, TS.
Enjoy your day. Bye, Joey.
Again, 272-9228. Mr. Pink, David, hold on real quick. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And their Pest Pro Services, Ashley and that great team are ready to help you, and you need it. You're going to need the help. Spring has sprung. So that not only means you're going to get wasps and yellow jackets and fire ants and all the stuff that can bite and hurt you a little bit. You're also going to be seeing probably more cucarachas, right,
Oh,
Eddie?
yeah. Oh, yeah. And you have the German cockroaches. And you can smell them when they're there.
But the biggest ones, yeah, that smells. But the two biggest ones with this water that's about to drop on top of us,
termites,
along with the heat, termites and mosquitoes.
Yep.
And Pest Pro can deal with all of those, but especially when it comes to termites and mosquitoes, you gotta get in touch with Pest Pro Services. They'll actually do a free termite inspection for you. You gotta ask for it, but they'll give you a free termite inspection, and you might as well get a treatment done because homeowners insurance doesn't pay for treatment or damage.
Correct.
So the damage is much more expensive to deal with. And of course, if you want to enjoy your yard, front porch, back porch, enjoy your property, why not get it treated for those nasty, nasty mosquitoes? It's not only a quality of life thing, it can be particularly a health thing even at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So give Ashley and her team a call today. That's 265-9990. That's 9990. Or you can always go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey and Eddie and throw in Craig, those guys on the radio, sent us. Now, let's go to Mr. Pink. Hey, Mr. Pink, how you doing? Mr. Pink?
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, man. I'm at work trying to smoke a cigarette.
Good man. Good man.
I appreciate what you sent me, man. The other day we was actually talking about all this, and makes me feel like I should have just went to school, man. Make me share a lot of ideas.
Yep. Yeah, and Mr. Pink, for folks who don't know, texted me the other day, and I sent him an episode. It's a fairly recent one, and I played it on the show one day you were here, Craig. It's that Uncommon Knowledge episode with Stephen Meyer, Douglas Murray, and I'm forgetting Tom Holland.
Yeah.
And it is, if you've not seen it, folks, and you're interested in this subject, it is a tour de force in terms of, I think, where the modern world is with these questions.
Yeah.
It's not going to give you the straight answer, like coming from a particular faith point of view. It's more, I think, a great assessment of where we've come to in modern life. And what I loved is Murray's call, even though he still remains an atheist, he's showing a lot more respect to Christianity than he did, say, a decade ago.
Yeah.
And his call is everybody just needs to be a little more humble. Unfortunately, I think that's the most difficult thing to pull off at the end of the day.
Yeah, my question I have for you, Joey, was more so like the evolution of our religion. You know, like when I had said, I started off like, it started off Hebrew, Old Testament, then the Greek, with the New Testament. And it's like, what are we doing now? It's like we've lost a lot of things that made us great. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, and this is why somebody like Craig is going back and trying to learn Greek, so you can sort of trace the translation.
I'm motivated, but y'all heard you guys talking about religion. I just wanted to chime in real quick. But what I did take from that long video, Joey, was that the guys was talking. They was like, I'm sure this right here it was probably gotten in a wrong, like it wasn't gotten fair, but it's here now. So why can't we just sit back and enjoy it? And I felt like he was talking about like America, a whole bunch of other things. So that's what I did take from it. But I'm gonna let you guys get on about it.
Well, I appreciate it, Mr. Pink. And I heard a very smart person, someone close to the other day, and I think this is right, say the solution or the antidote to pride is not necessarily humility. Humility can kind of help remedy and balance every aspect of you. That the best antidote to pride is gratitude.
Gratitude and awe,
yeah,
I would say.
Oh, yeah.
Awe is really important.
Yeah. Let's go to David. Hey, David, how you doing?
And the fear of the Lord doesn't hurt.
That by the way, in case it wasn't clear, lest I be called a pagan, that's what I meant by when I said all. So just keeping my bona fides up there.
Read the book of Job again, guys.
Yeah. Who are you? Where were you when I raised the mountains? Where
It's
were
kind
you?
of a metal book where he's like, look at this Goliath. Look at this Leviathan of the deep.
I think it's a sufficient answer too to human suffering. It's like, excuse me, where were you whenever I made the universe? Right. Since you know so much and what's going on, please tell me, where were you? Tell me how Leviathan got his teeth, please. That's a sufficient answer for me. Sorry, go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
Hey, what do you would prescribe the reasoning as to why there is a collapse in America right now of, especially in the under 40 crowd, of Catholicism, Presbyterian, Methodist, Lutheran, all the mainline denominations along with Catholicism, and the only churches that seem to be growing are the independent evangelical churches.
Who are you asking for with that one?
You.
Oh, okay. I mean very clearly because they abandoned the faith of their fathers, as is the condemnation against the churches in the book of Revelation. Presbyterians are holding on all right, but there are denominations like the PCUSA who have absolutely abandoned anything close to biblical authority and infallibility. Methodists, in my most humble opinion, are a bit of a joke in that regard when they've completely disregarded the structure of the church as God ordained. I think they just set themselves up for failure. Same with Anglicans, same with Lutherans. There are plenty of and Catholics, I believe, Roman Catholics, abandoned the faith some time ago. I believe the Council of Trent is probably, in my opinion, the point where you can really say that they really lost the plot. And I say all that to say that when you abandon biblical truth, the function of the church ceases to do so. It ceases to function. The way I describe it is when you start playing chess by Monopoly rules, it's going to fall off the rails at some point. So if you have a biblically faithful church that is faithful to the word of God, that is faithful to the ordinances, that is faithful to the rules and, if you will, regulations that are given in Scripture, then you will have a functioning church. If you abandon that, it's going to fall apart, which is why we see these historic denominations sort of fall by the wayside in such a benighted fashion.
Right. Yeah, and, right now, of course, you have churches like, Joel Osteen's church, which is, tens of thousands of people. You have the Church of the Highlands that draws 50,000 people a week. There's the actual largest church, evangelical church, independent church out in Oklahoma City, draws almost 60,000 a week. And, those are the churches that seem to be, really constantly growing and expanding.
Yeah, well, their leaders give you feel-good sermons, tell you that they're essentially self-help coaches that have ensnared credulous people who find the community and the messaging to be appealing to them, and in my opinion, that sort of means that you're not a church anymore. The Scripture says that the message of the gospel is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to those who are being saved is the very power of God. The gospel, if you are not a believer, the message of the gospel should offend you deeply because of your fallen nature. And if you have a church that appeals to your fallen nature, then you no longer have a church. You have a self-help guru in a three-piece suit with an ungodly amount of money.
And David, I would add to that from less within actually the theology. Christianity started getting reformed, let's say, after, the printing press comes out. And we've now, the printing press is like child's play compared to the information revolution we have today. And I think that information revolution and a few others that are coming down the road, say, unlocking the human cell, bioengineering, all AI, all this stuff is going to really confound a lot of people's minds, whether it's just mere distraction or I think theologians are going to have some work cut out for them going forward, like true serious theologians, because what we're seeing right now is the full extent, or maybe not the full extent. Let's not claim we're going there already, but what we're seeing is what happens when we can play God, when we have such powers that we could end human existence within a few seconds. And that's a weird place to be in, I think, for anybody who's out there searching. And then I think there are a lot of folks who are just apathetic. They really are satiated in terms of their creature comforts, and or that's how they get by. So, and point Eddie made earlier, like sometimes you go to some churches and you're like, I don't even like these people here. Like, it doesn't feel like a community when it should be, and actually kind of being alone sometimes feels better than faking it, if that makes any sense.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Well, it means that you have integrity if you can be by yourself and still serve God versus, surrounded by people who are faking it. To me, that's like a John the Baptist or a Apostle Paul, kind of a person. So,
well,
it stands out in the crowd.
Well, I appreciate the call, David.
Take care.
Hey, Dave.
Good one. Good questions. And I appreciated your answer for sure. One I could not give, I don't think. I didn't have the equipment.
Don't sell yourself short.
I don't have the
I've
equipment.
actually had to think about this because I've grown up in, I grew up in very extremely, the extreme side of certain religious traditions. Not that just we visited a lot of churches, and those were just the circles that we ran in. And then, in my teen years, I also visited a lot of flimsy milquetoast churches. And then I came to understand that there was a historical precedent for the faith and that there has to be some attachment. If Jesus happened in history, then there has to be some attachment to what has happened in history and the developments. And obviously the Protestant Reformation, I think, is the most significant event in the Western world since the time of Christ himself. And I think there was a recovery of a certain theological truths that had been lost and led to destruction in the Roman Empire. And by Rome, I mean the Roman Church Empire, not the actual Roman Empire.
Right. And again, folks, 272-9228 if you want to get on the program. We got to hit this break, but first, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. So if you're a man out there, two things start to affect men most as we mature. Erectile dysfunction's one, and a more general problem could be low testosterone. These are not things to deny or be embarrassed about, and certainly not something to wait to get fixed, especially if you're experiencing awful symptoms like a lack of motivation and drive, including a decrease in sex drive. And your wife's hot, man. Like, she's amazing, and that you're just not interested. Yeah, that's probably something going on with you, with your testosterone. It could be you're seeing unwanted weight gain, loss of muscle mass, and even you're eating all right, you're working out, but you're just not seeing results, or you feel like you're walking through your life in a fog. Well, knowing whether you have low T is huge in combating some of these issues. And they're actually urologists recommending that men should start getting their T checked even at the age 18, at least once a year, because it's not just for guys who are maturing, it's all sorts of men of all ages are experiencing these low T problems. So if you want to know whether or not you have low T, a lot of guys don't know, just go by Montgomery Men's Health. And they'll conduct a testosterone-focused lab workup plus a consultation for only $99. And they have low T treatments that can truly change lives. Men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym. That's right, brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism. You usually even notice an increased sex drive.
That's all right.
That is all right. You can actually book the same day that you call. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
What are you planning on using your tax refund on? With Southern Steel's strong, durable, and built-to-last metal structures, you can build anything from towering warehouses, pole barns, manufactured metal roof panels, or even a barn dominium. Save time and money with a quick turnaround and enjoy unmatched protection against the elements. Whether you're a business owner seeking efficiency or a homeowner looking for peace of mind, choose Southern Steel for a lifetime of security. Trust in quality. Visit them today and build your dreams in steel. 1295 North McDonough Street, 240-2223.
Get away this spring with friends to have some fun and entertainment as you sail into the sunset on the Harriet II Getaway Cruise. Every Saturday evening this spring, the Harriet II sets sail up the river at 5 p.m. with live entertainment, tasty concessions, and bar specials. It's a magical time of the day with nature's beautiful scenery on the river and stunning sunset views. When the boat returns, the city's nightlife is waiting for you to explore. Book your getaway cruise on the Harriet II today at funinmontgomery.com.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
The Health and Wealth Show. The Health and Wealth Show. The show so nice, we said it twice. Weekday evenings at 6 on News Talk 93.1 WACV. The Health.
Make it up, son. Joke's over, hey?
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the Afternoon. 272-9228. That's 272-9228. Now let's go to Win. This is Win on line 1. Hey, Win, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Joey?
Doing well.
Hey, I had a question for the guest, Craig Monger.
Hi, how are you, Win?
I'm good. Hey, have you ever attended a Church of the Highlands service?
No, I've seen during COVID. I saw several live streams that had popped up, and yeah, I was not impressed.
With the teaching?
Correct.
Of the pastor?
Correct, with the teaching. I typically see, I don't try to pay attention to personality. I pay attention to the veracity of the teaching.
Well, I've attended some of their services, and I found them very biblical and very edifying, and not at all just feel-good messages.
Oh, in what way?
Me.
In what way?
Well, he challenged me about my morality, my obedience to the Word of God, my belief in Christ, that His goodness could sustain me. I mean, basic, clear gospel message. And I just...
Well, what is the gospel then, Win? So you said it was a clear gospel message. What is the gospel?
Before I get to that.
Sure.
I have a real issue. See, I'm very concerned about how we interpret the Bible. I want it interpreted correctly and in context. And I believe history is critical, like you were saying, to properly interpreting the Scriptures because we learn from our past. But I see a lot of people going so far in their orthodoxy that they're willing to say things carelessly about other churches. And I bet you if you take any solid, good pastor and analyze everything they ever said, you could find something wrong. And I just think that's detrimental to the faith. So now, to your question, the gospel is God, the true God of the Bible, the Creator God, the God of the Old and New Testament, who communicates to us through His Word, through His prophets, through His apostles, has told us that He is highly incensed at sin to the point of severe judgment. But at the same time, in His love, He sent Christ to cover our sins, to take us into His family even, and make us righteous through Christ alone, and give us the power to obey and live according to His Word. Now, that's the message I heard at Church of the Highlands.
And so how does one have peace with God? How does one have shalom with, as you said, Yahweh, the Creator, the God of heaven and earth? How does one have peace with Him?
Well, I don't grab that peace. He gives it to me. It's called grace.
Correct, but how is that peace obtained? What was the message of John the Baptist? What was the message of Jesus in His ministry?
Repent, for the kingdom of
Amen. Repent and believe the gospel. Now, like I said, I've listened to several live streams of this, so I don't have an extensive experience, but I do have extensive experience with these types of churches. And I have found in my limited experience, as I said, that the concept of repentance and belief and seeking forgiveness through Christ alone, as you described, is not a main tenet of those types of churches. It is an emotionally driven experience with the music and with the messaging and with the altar calls, where they have this very dramatic music designed to elicit an emotional response, and not calling people to flee their sin, to repent of their sins, and to cling to Christ as the only way of salvation. Now, you say you got that, and I'm happy to take you at your word, but that is not my experience in seeing those types of churches.
Well, I didn't say those types. I'm only defending one church.
Okay. Sure. Fair enough.
Well, I think this has been, I would say, a productive call.
I agree.
And
God bless,
I really
Win.
do appreciate it, Win.
Is that your actual name? Because I think it's unfair. It's like, man, I just win.
Well, Eddie spelled it win like winning a lottery.
Well, think of it this way. When I tell you my name, it's a positive encouragement to you.
Yeah. Is your name spelled Nguyen?
Say that again?
Is your name spelled Nguyen? Like, do you have a Vietnamese name?
Nugent?
It's short for Winthrop.
Winthrop. Okay.
No, Winthrop. Okay, that makes sense.
there you
The
go.
only last time I've heard the name Win, it's
Like
Vietnamese.
John Winthrop.
Yeah, I know John Winthrop. Thanks, Win.
Appreciate it, Will.
Yeah, enjoy it. Thanks.
Well, and it's partly why I bring these things up.
Yeah. And by the way, Patrick, I'm seeing you on the live chat. No, I did not. I was not a Mormon. I've never been a Mormon, although I've read just about every authoritative piece of church documents from the Mormon Church, the Pearl of Great Price, Doctrine and Covenants, and the teachings of the church, King Follett Funeral Discourse, and of course the Book of Mormon. And I have a whole series of the teachings of the fathers of the church, including Joseph Smith and Brigham Young, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, so there you go, Patrick. I've got to hit another break here. But first, this part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. You know, I think Madeline was supposed to be here this week, but Eddie, you weren't here Tuesday, number one.
Okay.
But she was also so busy there.
I know she's getting busy. We all are.
And that actually is music to my ears. Not just because it's a sponsor, it's getting great business, but I know a lot of folks in the real estate world.
Yep.
Whether it's you or Alabama Home Mortgage and many others in my private life. And so I am just happy to see, I miss her. I miss Madeline.
I hope we'll get to see her this week.
Yeah, maybe we'll get to see her very soon. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. You can be working with Kim Williams or Madeline Cannon. And they do fantastic work whether you're looking to buy a home or refinance. There are a lot of folks stuck under a mountain of credit card debt these days. And that APR, the rate there is just, whoa. Like, what's the average? 28, 29%?
Yeah. And going up.
And it's one thing, I just did half a payment, and next month I'll pay it off. I'll pay a little bit of interest on a few $100. If you're just making minimal payments,
you're not going nowhere,
and it's growing into the thousands and thousands, if you have equity built up in your home, you can refinance, consolidate debt, or maybe you just want to reinvest in yourself, your family, your property. They can do that for you there at Alabama Home Mortgage. So give them a call, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies like Kim and Madeline. Prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hello, this is Colonel Patrick Downing, U.S. Army retired, on behalf of the nearly 400,000 veterans in Alabama, urging the passage of the Veterans Access to Care Bill to give veterans and their families better access to health care specifically tailored to their needs. Our veterans have done so much for us. Now it's time to do what we can for them by providing a state-run healthcare system just for veterans and their families.
Paid for by the Alabama Council of Chapters Military Officers Association of America, Mobile.
It's the best sale of the season at Capco's Spring Open House this week. Save on home decor, floral supplies, and gifts, or find inspiration for your home in our new spring merchandise. Visit daily for door prices, new deals, and surprises throughout the store. Saturday, enjoy music by Brian Brantley 11 to 1. And stay for our designer demonstrations at 1. Shop our Spring Open House for huge savings on our already low outlet pricing this week, 9 to 5 p.m. at Capco Outlet, located on the Wetumpka Highway.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where dump truck drivers are in demand. Wiley Sanders is on the grow. We need dump truck drivers now. Call 855-77-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It's another Friday and another Friday storm system with showers and thunderstorms, a good bet, especially in the afternoon and evening hours and well into the nighttime hours tonight. Temperatures held down a little bit by clouds and showers. 64 the high today, 56 the low tonight. Could be a leftover shower early in the day Saturday, but otherwise improvement Saturday afternoon, high 69. And then I think Sunday's a better day with a high in the lower 70s, plenty of sunshine. The next chance of rain coming in Monday night into Tuesday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. Check out our special spring savings on Kubota zero-turn mowers, like the Kubota Z411. At 10 miles an hour, it makes cutting around bushes, beds, and trees a breeze. Powering Alabama. Capital Tractor, Montgomery, Brundage, and Greenville.
Luxury car prices and payments have hit an all-time high. But at Lexus of Montgomery, we have every new Lexus model in stock with low APR financing to save you thousands. Right now, take advantage of as low as 3.99% APR financing on your favorite new Lexus. You don't have to pay more to get the luxury vehicle you want. Pay less at Lexus of Montgomery. You deserve to drive a Lexus from Lexus of Montgomery.
Financing up to 36 months is $29.50 per 1,000 financed. With approved credit. Ends 4/1/24.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the program. Both Eddie Bader, Craig Bunker still here in the studio, and Jay is March Madness?
You bet.
Yeah, baby. Good move. Thank you for thinking of that. And, well, we just got a gift here in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Who brought this, Eddie?
I believe it was Sweet D.
Oh, and she is Sweet Heat.
Love Sweet D.
Yeah, like Sweet Heat. So
What'd
she
she get you, buddy?
She brought a gift in a baby shark bag, and it feels like books. You like books, Craig?
Feels kind of heavy.
You like books, Eddie?
I like books.
Yeah. Let's see if we like these books. Oh, no.
What's the first book?
Damn you, D!
Joey.
Sean
brought you a
Hannity!
gift. Oh.
Sean Hannity! No! That's not a book! Oh, I'm going to throw up now.
What?
I love you, D, but why the hell would you do this? Get out of here. Hillary Clinton.
Oh, good Lord.
Hillary Clinton.
Hard choices. How many people to murder this week? I'm just kidding. That was a joke. Please don't kill me.
Joey. Dude, that's a big one.
That's still not a book.
Man, you could in my
That's
truck.
not what I meant by books.
You could drive my truck. You could sit on that.
It's
that
one
book there and
page
see
for
on the
every
steering
body.
wheel.
Really. Bob
Oh,
Woodward.
Bob Woodward. I know that's your favorite.
The Secret Wars of the CIA, 1981, 1980. Actually, that could be.
That's actually not bad.
Yeah, thank you for that one, Dave. That's a book. That's a book right there.
Blind squirrel nut.
Yeah, that's a book right there. All right, we got more in here. Oh.
By the way, I'm just going to point out, I love how you get gifts and I get offers to come purchase things.
I think there would
It's
be
a
a
double
few folks
standard.
inviting you to the Church of the Highlands, too.
I'm surprised we don't have more calls.
Yeah. Well, the Kennedys admits the gathering storm. Actually, that could be good.
By who?
By Will Swift.
No idea who that is.
Yeah.
I'd read it.
That could be good. So we've got 2 books and 2 that are not books.
And we have 2 pieces of kindling.
Oh, no. I actually already have this one. Somebody gave it to me for Christmas. So, Hard Choices by Hillary Clinton. Decision Points by George W.
That's one of the first
book.
That's one of the first political books I ever read. I hated it.
These books have a nice floral smell to them, though.
Oh yeah.
Like,
well, they came from a
lotion. Yeah. It's been a while.
More?
Yep. And oh wow, I remember from my childhood. You know, I get the little styrofoam trays at lunch.
Yeah.
And on the bottom would say, "Just say no."
Yeah.
And this is the unauthorized biography of Nancy Reagan.
Good old Nancy
by
Reagan.
Kitty Kelly. Think Kitty's a feminist?
Probably.
Yeah.
I love how they have to specify unauthorized, meaning this is full of garbage.
So thank you, B. I'll say that 3 of these, or 2 of these are books.
Only 2?
The other might make
What
good.
about Kitty's book?
The other might make good kindling. I mean, we are book burners here on the show, right?
Can I take a bit of a liberty here to respond to Kindle, who's in the chat?
Oh yeah, I'll pull it up
just,
on the screen. Too.
Yeah, just to make sure that I'm clear here. I'm not begrudging anyone who attends Church of the Highlands. I'm not even smashing it as an institution or as a church even. I'm not for God forbid I say that it's an apostate body either. That is not what I'm saying. I am saying that I've met several people who have attended Church of the Highlands as well as seen the live streams as I previously mentioned, and their grasp of theology and doctrine has not blown me away. It has not screamed to me that of people who are sitting under consistent biblical, virile, potent biblical teaching. People who can't define the gospel. That's why I asked the previous caller to define that, because I've had
Sure.
I haven't had it. Can you define the Trinity? These are basic tenets of the faith that are required for any Christian to know, and I have not found that the average parishioner of that church has been sufficient in answering those questions.
Couldn't you find that in any church, though?
Correct. And if
Yeah.
we were talking about any other church, and that's why I said those types of
Right.
churches, because it doesn't have to be like a large national or I think global, in the case of Church of the Highlands movement. It can be just your average non-denom church that has the exact same problems.
Well, and Kendall does say not throwing stones at Craig at all.
It's fair. It's fair.
Personally
It's criticism.
questioned Church of the Highlands before I attended. I would love for Craig, I told you, as well as anyone else, to please attend a few services there with me and serve with me on some of the serve teams. Okay, well.
Yeah, it was a fair enough criticism,
Thank you,
which is why
Kendall.
I didn't like bite his head off or anything.
Right.
It's fair enough. I just wanted to make sure I was clear.
Now,
Love you, Kendall.
Let's go to Sweet D. Hey, D, how you doing?
Hey, Sweet D.
Hi, Sweet D.
Hey guys, Joey, I knew you were gonna love that Hillary book, and that's why I put the vanilla tree in there, because I knew it stinks.
Oh, Sean Hannity.
Oh, she let off with Sean Hannity too.
Well, that's your stepdad, isn't it?
That's what I've always
He's my
heard.
adopted godfather. I don't know why I ever did it. He used to live next to Billy Joel. It's been all downhill.
Well, I thought that, he really was your godfather. I didn't know that was a joke. And the others, well, we have been talking about the Prattville Library. So, full disclosure, I got those at Prattville Library to get a bag.
Hold on. Oh, you dropped her. Oh, man.
Drop it like it's hot.
I
Drop
felt
it like
she
it's
was-
hot.
Call back, D.
Please call back.
On one. Hey, D, you there?
Yeah, was that me or you?
That was us.
That was Eddie.
Oh, okay.
Don't take collective blame. It was Eddie.
Wait, you got these from the Prattville Library?
Yes, there were 25 cents. You get a bag full for 25 cents. So I said, Joey never goes out, and he's better off for it. You don't need any of these skanky women. Stay away from them. They only want your offspring so they can tie you up into child support forever. Don't do it, Joey. Don't take Eddie's advice. Leave these women alone.
Well, and, if I get to 40 and I still don't have somebody, we're going to have khaki babies, right?
Oh, sure.
Good. All right.
We'll open that thing back up in a minute.
Right.
God help you. I'll pray for both of you.
Okay, well, I hope you enjoy the book, and hopefully your granddad has a fireplace and you get to that healer junk quickly.
Thank you, D.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
Bye, D.
272-9228. Again, that's 272-9228. You never know what's going to happen on the show.
No. I don't get gifts. This makes me sad. I don't get gifts.
Mark Cumby says, Joey, yesterday on Alabama Unfiltered, a caller said you look like Will Wheaton.
Oh,
Who the heck is Will Wheaton?
No, he's the sci-fi guy. What? Oh man, what was he on? Star Trek. Yeah, he was on Star Trek, and then
Which
he kept
one?
making appearances on Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, Big Bang Theory. Yeah.
I can see it. I just pulled him up. I can kind of see it.
No, here, hit images. You're not looking at the right ones. Yeah, like that one, like 5 over to the right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I see
That's
it.
you.
I see it.
A round-faced darling.
It's funny when people see, like, in high school, everybody said I look like Tom DeLonge.
Who's Tom DeLonge? Oh,
Blink-182.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
no.
I got that constantly in high school.
Yeah.
Babyface.
Yeah.
Well, all mine are, it's like John Cena, Rob Gronkowski.
Ricky Skanicki.
Yeah. I haven't seen that. I don't plan to.
Yeah, soft jaw men with beards. 272-9228. Let's go to Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael.
How are y'all?
Good. We're having a heck of a show today. How's it going at Cohen's?
Wonderful. We got the tournament on.
Yeah, buddy.
We got people coming in. We had to. We keep a wheelchair around for some of our older customers, but we helped a little lady back to the back so she could buy the Speed Queen she'd been looking at online. So it's been a good day. Lots of good customers today.
And there are a lot of folks going for that Speed Queen because it's, well, I think it's a superior product from what you've been telling me.
Well, yes. Yeah, they the way that they engineer their stuff, they're American made, over 114 years in business. They use so much metal, so much steel. It's just engineered to last, and it doesn't have all the plastic parts that all the other manufacturers have done, which is why their stuff is cheaper. And when you pick them up and you try to move a Speed Queen in comparison to whatever else you were looking at, you're like, oh my God, this thing weighs a ton. Because it does have steel in it instead of plastic. And it's engineered to last 25 years. And, it's an incredible product, and it looks like 1980s technology. When I was at our buying group meeting at primetime, they had the coin-operated commercial models out, and the home versions look just like the commercial model. The only difference is you don't have to stick quarters in there to wash your clothes.
Well, this is why folks are heading over to Cohen's and asking for this. It must be folks hearing you on the radio, Michael. And folks, if you do,
probably your people.
Yeah, I think it's our people.
Yes, I had a question. If, let's say, theoretically, I knew someone whose 2-year-old son bashed his television with a sword because he was fighting bears on the screen, could that situation be remedied, like a new television? Could that be found at Cohen's?
That seems like something you have to call your homeowners for.
Let's say that person is me.
We are happy to get you a new television.
That's good to know. Thank you.
And I do have some that are available with a special screen. They're an outdoor television, but they've got a special screen that is like a big heavy-duty screen protector on the unit. So
not the worst idea.
Your TV will win if the bear ever comes out again.
Well, my 2-year-old is pretty industrious, but I think I trust you on that one.
Man, that a 2-year-old did that?
Yeah, he was so. My anger was only overshadowed by my pride that he was fighting the monsters.
Well, yeah, you want to be mad, but you're kind of smirking on the inside.
Just a bit. Wow. I made him the sword too, so I can't complain.
Oh. Well, next time, build him a little wimpier sword.
Yeah, Nerf. I'll get Nerf next time.
Well, folks, this is Cohen's can help you with all those issues. ThinkCohens.com, of course. You can shop from home, but you got to stop by the Boulevard. 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. They're open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And be sure to tell them that you heard Michael here on the radio with Joey and Eddie and Craig.
Fantastic. Thank y'all. Y'all have a great weekend.
You too, Michael. Yeah, what? I'm trying to figure out a way to put this up on the stream, but
it seemed very apropos. I apologize.
No, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and this was literally 3 days after we had to replace our dishwasher, and I was just like, "Ooh, fun."
Well, kids. Have kids.
Have kids. Do it. They'll bash your TV screen, but you'll still love them.
Yep. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Kate, the Princess of Wales, has cancer and is undergoing chemotherapy. A video announcement came after weeks of speculation spread on social media about her whereabouts and health, since she was hospitalized in January for unspecified abdominal surgery. Russia and China vetoing a U.S.-sponsored UN resolution calling for an immediate and sustained ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war. That vote today in the Security Council was 11 members in favor, 3 against, and 1 abstention. A bill that would ban any agent of China from buying farmland in Georgia has passed the State House over the objection of Democrats who said it would lead to discrimination against Asian Americans. The Dow is down 160 points now, but the NASDAQ ahead 57. This is SRN News.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnow. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, an evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group, because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word faith to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word faith to 989898 and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
Weather is brought to you by the Johnny Adams Law Firm. I'm Johnny Adams with the Johnny Adams Law Firm, Alabama's personal injury law firm. Wishing you a fabulous day and a blessed evening. Stay weather alert.
Well, hi, everybody. I think radar will continue active well into the evening and nighttime hours tonight with the risk of showers and thunderstorms. And the overnight low temperature tonight down to about 56. Now, tomorrow, Saturday, there could be a shower left over early in the morning, but I think we see improvement by Saturday afternoon with a high around 69. And I think Sunday's a good day with highs in the lower 70s and plenty of sunshine. And our next chance of showers coming in Monday night into Tuesday. Showers and thunderstorms. We'll keep an eye on that storm system. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
1819 News.
Governor Ivey has signed the Parents' Right to Know bill into state law. The new law requires all public schools to post on their school website the curriculum that is used in each classroom. The schools must also post any newly revised or adopted curriculum within 30 days of that decision. This involves all grades K through 12. The law also requires classroom teachers to allow parents who request it access to the instructional materials. Parents who are not able to do so could file a complaint with the local or state superintendent. Governor Ivey says that parental involvement in their students' education is critical and parent-teacher collaboration is important. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Are you enjoying 1819 News? If so, consider joining 1819 News as a member. As a nonprofit news organization, we depend on the support of Alabamians like you. Memberships start out as little as $5 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive content only offered to our members. You'll be supporting independent journalism done by people who cherish Alabama values. Become a member today by visiting 1819news.com and clicking Become a Member. That's 1819news.com and click Become a Member today.
Several bills were offered this week in the Alabama legislature regarding workforce development here in the state. The package is titled Working for Alabama. The bills make changes to the Alabama Department of Labor, including housing tax credits and child care tax credits. The bills were offered by officials working within the Workforce Commission that is being led by Lieutenant Governor Will Ainsworth. Residents and police in Orange Beach are preparing for 70,000 visitors this weekend as the 2024 Orange Beach Invasion takes place. That is a car and truck exhibition that often leads to street performances. Orange Beach law enforcement will now be operating under a new state law against exhibition driving. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228. 9228, as the big boy said. That's 272-9228. Where to go to next? Do we want to stay serious? Because I've also got some silly crap here.
I wish we had a coin to flip because I could go either way. What about you, Eddie? What do you want? Silly or serious?
You know me, I'm silly. My life is too serious for more serious stuff.
Maybe you should get out of the pond if you're going to be such a silly goose.
Perhaps.
Well, Kate Middleton announces she has cancer.
Oof.
Yeah.
That stinks.
No, we have two stories that kind of go together, I would say. This is from the New York Post. Sky's the limit, but not on this airline. A female passenger claimed that she and a friend were allegedly ordered off an Air New Zealand flight due to their size. I just couldn't believe what was happening to me. Angel Harding told One News of the traumatizing incident. Really? Which allegedly occurred on a flight from the pier to Auckland. And here, I don't have it ready to share on the stream, so I'll just hold it up to the camera. That's the lady in question.
Oh, no, and she's indigenous.
Yeah.
That makes it worse.
Right, right. Exactly. The pair had reportedly been returning from an informal gathering in Hastings, having flown from all these places that nobody here in this listening area knows. Thank you, guys. The woman said she was looking out of the window while the plane was taxiing on the tarmac when all of a sudden she felt a sharp pain. That's when she allegedly turned to see a flight attendant slamming the armrest down on her arm. Okay, that is kind of rude.
Yeah.
I was kind of in shock, she said. I moved forward and she started yelling to me that the pilot can't take off unless all the armrests were down. She was speaking to me in an aggressive manner.
I didn't know the armrest had anything to do with taking off.
Neither do the cell phones, by the way.
Right. Oh,
yeah.
Have you ever done it?
Oh, yeah. I've never turned them off ever.
Guilty. I'll be over there.
Dude, I vape into a blanket when I'm on a plane. Like, I'm not here to follow the rules.
Well, they're like, smokeless tobacco is not allowed on Delta flights as I grab my on. And
I never,
I'm just throwing
okay, I've never understood that.
Well, no, I do get that. If you have actual, because I did it on one flight.
But you're just spitting in a cup.
Yeah, it's gross to people, though, man. If you're not used to it, I admit a spit cup is gross.
Yeah. I think a spit bottle is permitted, a spit cup, not so much.
Duct tape it up. That's what people do.
Oh, duct tape.
You duct tape the bottle up so everybody knows this is foul.
But the thing is, if you're a dipper, you should be able to make like a small concession to go to Zen just for a plane flight. Just like if you're a smoker, you can sit there and vape and let it dissipate in your lungs, and nobody knows that nobody's the wiser. If you're a smoker, you can make that concession. So don't be unreasonable and demand that you be able to dip. Like don't be a silly goose.
No, and there's a smell, especially depending on what flavor you got. But even plain, there's a smell, man.
Yeah.
Or like what did I used to do? Grizzly wintergreen long cut. That's
Skull.
Like way into it. I started with Skull, like some of the nicer flavors, but I got to a point where it's like, it's get me.
Kodiak wintergreen was the best.
Then now everybody's gone to these On or Zen products, and I think it's if you're gonna do nicotine, that's a way to do it.
Or hand-rolled cigarettes. But maybe that's just me.
And you're doing
biased.
that.
Maybe
now.
that's just me being biased.
That's Elmore County right there.
Yeah.
Wow. So there was one. It wasn't just this lady, in Australia, and that does sound like the flight attendants were like, "That's."
Well, you've flown lately.
No, I did, and I'm a little too big for it.
She was quite rotund, and she should get 2 seats, obviously.
Yeah.
But that being said, don't just come and slam something on people's arm. There's no reason to be rude.
No, and I went with Comfort Plus, not Coach, when the seats were a little better, but the room was not.
I think you get like an inch and a half more seat or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
I was still essentially arm inside
if you're in the
arm
middle-
the whole time, because if I try to just sit how I sit, I'm up against the guy next to me.
Right.
And, one lady, or we almost had the connection back from Atlanta to Montgomery. They're like, we're way overweight. We're like
Were they looking at
386
you?
pounds overweight. No, and I was like, oh no. Some of the luggage, and the lady next to me, lovely woman, works with veterans here in town. She said, "Oh no, is that my suitcase they're taking off?"
Oh no!
I had to pay extra
Just to get
because
it,
it
yep.
was heavy. And I'm like, "What's so heavy in there?" She goes, "Oh, it's like a 50-pound pillow, specialty pillow." Like,
thought it'd be a wheel of cheese or something.
All right, but it worked out. Essentially, they did say we might have to remove a person off this flight, though.
And everyone just looking around.
Yeah,
around.
who's the
fat
fatty?
guy?
Who's
But
the butter
hold up
mountain?
now. I will say, a couple times flying Justin back and forth to his mom's, we would hold out. We'd get to Houston. It was always sold out to Vegas, and they'd say, "We'll give $300." One time, I think we got like $3,000 just to wait around for the next flight.
Right, they did the bidding thing when I was in Boston, and I'm like, no, I need to take.
Joey,
It started
man.
at 500, they got up to 800.
Mm-hmm.
Hold out, baby. Hold out. 800 and a steak dinner.
And they'll set a gift card of your choice. So I was like, wait, can it be an American Express gift card?
My choice, right?
Maybe an Amazon gift card? I'll take those. But Charlie's.
Yeah, OC Harley's.
Nothing wrong with it.
It'll
But
do no good here.
Is there no Charlie's in Montgomery?
I don't think so. I think they're all closed up.
Yeah, they're all closed up.
What's the
Ravel
one-
closed up.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Because of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. I keep trying to go into a sillier territory, and
I'm
serious
sorry.
things keep popping
Well, let's
back
laugh
up.
at the fatty.
No, I don't necessarily want to laugh at her, Craig.
You
because
said he said laughing.
this is I'm not.
Come on.
It's not funny. It's not funny at all. It's like, stop it.
But if the seatbelt fits around you,
Yeah.
okay, then you should be able to have the one seat. But I got a feeling, I'm not trying to be ugly. I got a feeling that seatbelt did not wrap.
No, the seatbelt goes forever, but
I've seen the
no,
person
man.
had to put the second one on.
In Comfort
before.
Plus, the seatbelt was like wasn't tight on me, but I had to pull it
We're
out a good
talking
bit.
about you so much as the other.
If
Oh, I know. I'm not that.
Here's
that
the
chubby.
rule. Here's the rule. If you are spilling out of the seat like someone is making a mold for a retainer, then you should probably have to buy another seat. If you're like smushed in there,
Well, maybe
like
if they had a
hydraulic
seat-
fluid.
like
they
when
had-
you pop open a can of biscuit or biscuits. What's the?
If they had a
Pillsbury
seat at
biscuits?
the ticket counter like they have the baggage, and you have to sit, your bag has to fit in there to go in the overhead. You have to fit in this seat in front of everybody.
But
before you
fitting is
get-
but fitting is a very subjective term. Like you could say, "Oh, I fit in here" if my hip goo
Right.
is like spilling out into half of the other seat. You know where people have like a second and third rear end on the side of their hips when they hip specifically
Yeah, they
fat.
have-
That can spill over. And it's
It
like, I don't
does.
want to have to sit on your bupa to like to have to.
you would sit kind of crooked. the
Yeah,
whole
you sit
flight.
kind of
Hurt
crooked.
my back.
You'd be like George Costanza with
Right,
his
with the
giant
big wallet.
Yeah.
So it's not just this Australia flight. There's another flight. This went viral, and this plus size, and she is indeed plus size, is going to talk about dealing with air travel as a plus size woman. Is that the language you're using now? Plus size?
It's like unhoused persons.
All right.
Yeah.
But let's listen in together, folks.
I'm plus size and on a plane. Of course, I can't fit the tray table now. I'm plus size and on a plane. Of course, I'm going to sit beside the smallest member of my family. I'm plus size and on a plane. Of course, the armrest is digging. I'm plus size and on a plane. Of course, I have to shimmy down the aisle sideways.
Wait. A lot of the stuff she's describing, like, I would have to do.
Well,
like
I was gonna
normal
say,
size people.
Just from
like,
flying, she just looks like the average person I see on a plane.
Yeah.
Right, and like for instance, Craig, you're in pretty remarkable shape, but you're big.
Yeah, I'd have to walk side. I've had to walk sideways through planes since I was 12.
Right.
Like, stop complaining.
Well, plus just sitting there, you
Eat
get
a
so
snack,
tight.
blood
And
sugar-
plus,
their
look
blood
at these
sugar's low.
glasses. How gauche.
Who's that Who's the bad guy from Despicable Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crew.
Yeah. Well, no, not Gru. The
Mad
orange, the guy in the
Professor thing.
orange
Oh.
jumpsuit.
Oh, I don't know that one.
I'll have to look it up.
I don't know.
Those
my
glasses
kids'
are a
movies.
little over the top. But honestly, she
Wow.
looks like an average flyer.
Wow. Okay,
But no, I'm going to tell you, I think that being excessively fat is a symptom of the same illness that those glasses are, which is look at me, I'm
Look at me.
here,
Got a
observe
big case
me.
of look at me's. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a me thing.
Yep.
Well, and here's the deal. That video went viral, I don't think because of the video, because the audio quality was crap and all that. I'm going to pull it up on the stream here.
Okay.
Look at it, got community noted.
Oh.
Was it just tuba music?
Readers added context.
Uh-huh. See?
The woman is not a plus-size woman. It's just obesity.
Did a Russian write that? The woman is not plus size woman. It's
It's
just obesity.
Obesity is a disease. It is a major cause of other diseases and disabilities.
That's what, yeah.
It's also one of the leading preventable deaths caused by the WHO. That
The WHO, it tell the sukkah is fat. This is it.
Jeez.
Wow, Twitter.
No, it's absolutely true, though. It's like, in all seriousness, it's like, listen, hey, lady, I'm sure you have a perfectly fine personality, but you're also going to die, and you're going to be a comprehensive burden to everyone who loves you while you're dying. In the long, trudging march to the hereafter, you are going to be a continual comprehensive burden because you can't take care of yourself.
Well, and the replies are even more brutal. Well, there's a fat bastard
There's
from
the
Austin
fat
Powers.
bastard.
So she wanted attention, to your point, Craig.
Yeah.
She got it. Wilder on Twitter says she should consider traveling by sea.
Oh, good.
Can we make lamp oil from her?
Right.
Dr. Eric Cattell said this is what the cargo hold is for.
Doctor?
The real Rodney says, just guessing, not a Trump voter.
She cast 2 votes last election.
Carl says, it looks to me like a case of self-inflicted girth via Twinkies.
That's just impolite.
That's a little wordy. I'm plus size on a plane, of course. Grips chest. Oh, wow.
They would let me bring on my statins.
Wow. Stop laughing. Yeah. I tried to not make fun of her. I tried, and I failed.
But imagine the self-centeredness, sincerely, that is required for you to think that the world and reality should bend to your whims and just the marvelous splendor that is you.
Right.
It is the amount of hubris and ego involved in that is just something I can't really understand.
Now, in other silly territory, this has to do with politics. Can't really play the clip because I don't have it bleeped. But there is a moment, Mike McCall, he's a chairman, very serious man, very national. Like, if you're going to be a guy who speaks on behalf of the national defense of the nation, he's out of central casting, dude.
Okay.
Like, he really is like, I'm a man. And he's running a committee, and it's one of those committee hearings where it's clear that nobody else is in there.
Gotcha.
Other than the one person asking the question. And it's the one person asking the question is Daryl Issa. And Issa says, I know I'm getting up past the 5 minute, but let me continue here. And he goes on for like another minute or two. McCall like hits the gavel and he's like, Mr. Chairman, I thought, we're just at the tail end of this. I thought we had dispensed with that rule. And you can hear McCall say pretty loudly, yeah, sure, Daryl. And then under his breath, you can hear it on the hot mic. He goes, go F yourself. But he didn't say F. And then apparently the two like kissed and made up later. Like they like each other, but we were just
pretend like each other.
No, they were like our tempers flared up a little bit there at the end.
Mama makes them get along.
Who hasn't told your best friend to go F themselves?
I tell Eddie all the time.
What we do.
Yeah.
It happens,
Let me ask you this. You ever, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay.
You ever said something behind your kid's back? Like called him a little turd or maybe flipped him the bird?
Oh my!
Or is it just me?
No, I've never given him a. But I have leaned over
Not
to
your
my
kid,
wife.
but I mean.
I'm saying. Oh, to other people's kids.
No,
Oh,
to
God.
my own kid. Like he'd do something.
Oh yeah, my kid's 100%. I'll look at my wife sometimes, and because my kid is manipulative, he's downright.
Y'all obviously aren't listening to Jordan Peterson. Don't let your children do things that will make you hate them.
No, it's not that I hate them.
Not that
It's
I
that
hate 'em.
I love them so much
Right,
that I
right.
can't hate them, which makes me infuriated.
Yes.
Like with the TV thing. Like he smashes my TV, and
Right.
all I can feel is pride that he was fighting bears.
Right.
And then I'll just look at my wife sometimes and be like, that little turd. Just, I love him. I just want to bite his cheeks off. And my girl, too. My girl, oh, God.
Well, I'm starting to win.
Oh, man. My little girl, God have mercy. I am so done when she get like. the ability she has just to melt me is unfair, and I disapprove.
Yeah, I've seen it with some of my uncles who had just daughters or one daughter, and it's like, it is not fair.
Yeah, disciplining your children is the least fun thing in the world to do. And I think that means you're doing it right because you don't like it.
Right.
Good call, Craig.
Now, talking about Jordan Peterson, he's still with the Daily Wire, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, and I just actually this morning I watched about an hour, listened to about an hour of him. He had Destiny on, that streamer guy. Actually, I have a weird opinion of Destiny because most of the time Destiny, in my humble opinion, is arguing with idiots.
Yes.
Most of the time. And so I get where he's coming from, being angry and annoyed at some of the stupid partisan stuff that's thrown his way.
Agreed.
I've seen him on interviews, like he did one with Michael Malice. This one with Peterson, I think, fits the bill too, where he's up against a very smart person who's also being very deferential.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm like, I would like to talk to that guy. I would disagree with him vehemently. But anyway, my point is Jordan Peterson's still there at the Daily Wire, but things are kind of going to pieces. And, Daily Wire has parted ways with Candace Owens.
Dun dun.
Oh, no. Apparently breaking the internet. Daily Wire CEO Jeremy Boring announced that the conservative news outlet has ended its relationship with Candace Owens. And I think a lot of people saw this coming, said Tim Pool. Some predicted a move to Valuetainment. Actually, I do see that. I do like Bet David's system over there. His company is quite good. But, one thing, we just had all that talk about Christianity in the last hour. And I've seen the memes all over the internet. I'm sure you certainly have, Craig. Christ is King.
Yeah.
And it's one thing when I see that and I go, oh, yeah, like it doesn't trigger me. It's sort of like, actually, I think it's smart. The historian we've had on, Arthur Herman, he's been saying for a few years now, as much as he loves his written words, he's a Pulitzer finalist, like he loves his words, he realizes that's not what's moving the world anymore right now. It's the icon. It's the visual image. So for folks to take memes and put it towards a religious mission, not only is that you're being fearless and sharing your faith, it's also, I think, a smart strategy in this day and age. That said, when Candace is fired over her commentary on Israel, and then you have immediately folks demonizing the Daily Wire by saying, Christ is King, am I wrong to feel a little uncomfortable about that? Essentially like, shut up, Jews.
No, I think... I don't think you're wrong to feel uncomfortable about that, but what I think you're seeing is it's more of a political than a religious bucking against, and that bucking against is the inability for anyone in the public sphere to be critical of Israeli actions ever.
That's true.
And so while that might be an antagonist, and trust me, from a Christian who fundamentally believes and lives by the principle that Jesus Christ is King, the fact that that's being used as a flippant political tool in this specific debate, I think
exactly
is disgusting.
That's what made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, but I don't think it's shut up Christ killers. That's not what I think it is. I think that Candace Owens has a particular. She does not have a standard American evangelical almost cult-like dedication to Israel, because this is what people need to understand, that America's connection to Israel is ultimately eschatological, because the type of eschatology that has taken over American evangelicalism really in the past 150 years places the state of Israel or a rebuilt temple as the sort of method for bringing about the apocalypse, and so they feel like they have to support Israel because it will bring about the apocalypse and it will bring about the return of Christ.
Did you see the latest in that? And I watched a piece by Glenn Beck, who does follow that stuff.
Yeah.
And apparently red heifers.
Oh my God, if I have to hear red heifer one more time. I don't want to get into an eschatological discussion.
Right, but he was citing, he started the session saying Hamas is saying this, that they're trying to build the third temple. And with the sacrifice of the red heifer, and apparently they're bred in Texas. Several have been brought over to Israel, and
yeah, and again, the ability for people to make. Here's the thing about the Book of Revelation, by the way, it's really hard to understand.
Sure.
There's lots of there's beasts and monsters and horrors and armies and locusts, and it's very difficult to understand. And when something is very difficult to understand, especially when you don't interpret it by the things that are easy to understand, you can make it say anything that you want.
Right.
So, for instance, this concept of a new temple being rebuilt, every single prophecy about a rebuilt temple comes before the rebuilding of the second temple that was destroyed in 70 AD.
Okay.
So technically there really is no other temple coming, but bad eschatology reigns supreme in America.
Well, and what I worry is it would animate political stuff.
And it has.
And it has.
Bad American eschatology has led to atrocities in that era, in that area. And I've said that for the past several years, and I'll keep saying it. And what is happening is you have people like Ben Shapiro who have a voracious, and I would even say unthinking and unfeeling support for what he considers his people. And Candace does not have that connection and that conviction. And Ben Shapiro really turned on her in a very ugly way. And so have a bunch of other people. And so they just inevitably came to a point where they had to split apart.
And I admit fully, I'm certain it annoys folks who are passionate about the issue. But the more I look at the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, I have difficulty seeing a clear-cut side. Like I've watched that whole debate we were talking about last week. With Finkelstein, and I can't remember the other fellow's name.
Destiny and Professor
Morris,
something like that.
Something like that.
Complicated names.
And actually, those clips of Finkelstein ripping into Destiny, I'm watching in the full context. I'm like,
unnecessary.
He's acting like an ass. Just answer the question. I thought it was a fair question he asked him.
Yeah.
And so, anytime I watch one of those debates, I thought that one was very fruitful. There was a lot of information in it that I appreciated. It laid out some of the stakes and the schisms there. But I find myself going, well, there's a lot of blood that's been spilled. And I think sometimes, especially very smart people who are, say, academic, start to forget that their words at times don't mean much when it's a question of violence.
Yeah.
And we never abandon words. Always great to strive for peace, but violence tends to sing its own song once it gets going. And then when you have generational hatred built up, and it seems like there are at least cliques or aspects of both sides that don't want a settlement whatsoever, well, of course it's going to end up in war.
Yeah, the way that you show me that you know absolutely nothing about the conflict in that region is when you have a solution.
Right.
Because it's like, even with that debate, it's like, what's the solution?
Yeah.
Like, heck if I know.
Right.
Because when you have two sides that are at each other's throats, it's essentially trying to hey, how can I resolve the tension between this coyote and this sheep? It's like, not going to happen.
And going back to the whole red heifer prophecy thing, Hamas, remember what October 7th was called by them?
What?
Alaska flood. And now you could say it goes back to the Grand Mufti, I guess, back then, who was working with Hitler.
Yeah.
Who essentially the constant claim that the Jews are going to take over the Temple Mount.
Yeah.
And that, though, Alaska Mosque is what they kind of named their October 7th attack about. So this stuff, it's the same thing with what's happening in Ukraine with Russia.
Yeah.
There is so much depth and weirdness and things I think the average American does not understand of what's going on with politics in other parts of the world. Part of me thinks, why are we even getting into this?
And if you want to see some bizarre eschatological stuff that's talking about Russia, and it's like, oh, there's a bear in the Book of Revelation, and Russia is the only nation that's been symbolized with a bear. Again, you can make the Book of Revelation
is there a dragon?
Say anything. What now?
There's a dragon
in the Book of Revelation? Yeah. There is not. By the way, there is not an Antichrist. You will not find the word Antichrist in the Book of Revelation. You'll find it in 2 John, which is again shows you how the idea of American evangelical eschatology, how disconnected it is from history, because that concept of a rapture that you see in the Left Behind series, that did not exist for the first 1850 years of the Christian
faith. And I'm happy to admit my ignorance. That's why I ask stupid questions, but honest ones. It's so do you think it's kind of describing Nero and
Yes, I'm what's known as a preterist, which not a full preterist, so sheath your swords. It's someone, I believe that it ultimately had most of the fulfillment of the book of Revelation took place before the destruction of the temple in 70 AD and can be understood in that way because the same destruction was described by Jesus, and he said that this generation will not pass away till all these things be fulfilled. Paul tells them, hey, these are things that are soon to come, be aware of the times. Now, of course, then you get into some future stuff in the return of Christ.
Sure.
But most of it is responding to, I believe, describing the destruction of the temple in 70 AD within one generation of Jesus' lifetime, which was the destruction of the Jewish aeon and the bringing in of the Christian aeon, which I think is the significance.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well,
and by the way, that was a common eschatological view up until, like I said, the last century.
Well, and like I could really nerd out because, especially when I started reading political philosophy, they're fascinating. But like Eric Vogelin's work is remarkable. That a lot of the eschatology you find, especially in Christianity, it got fragmented, split in several parts, and then certain parts of that Christian eschatology were then picked up by political movements.
Yeah.
Marxism shows all the hallmarks of that sort of thing. And many other aspects of our political movements have that sort of emphasis where, and that's what makes you nervous about a self-fulfilling prophecy that's about political actions, not something divine at all.
Yeah, it's well, funny that one of my favorite G.K. Chesterton quotes is he said, St. John the Divine saw many strange beasts in his visions, but no so strange as any of his commentators.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And people have wit.
Oh, and if you find someone wittier than G.K. Chesterton, then
Chesterton's pretty awesome.
you can't go better.
Hey, I gotta hit this break. We'll be right back. Crawdad, hold your horses.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Madness is happening right now. But the real action is happening at Toyota of Montgomery. Score our biggest Toyota savings of the year. That's on our biggest selection of new Toyotas in stock. Like the game-winning 2024 Camry, now $299 a month. Trade in your old car. No matter what it is, no matter where you got it. We'll give you up to $2,000 over book value for it. And they're here. The Toyota of Montgomery All-Stars. Shop and save thousands on our certified pre-owned Toyotas. They're just like new Toyotas, even come with a warranty, but cost thousands less. Want in on the action? Hurry before it all ends March 31st. Dribble down to Toyota of Montgomery online at toyotamontgomery.com. Part of the Sutherland Automotive Group.
Camry LE MSRP 30,958. 12,000 miles per year for 36 month leases with 3638 due at signing. $0 security deposit with accrued credit. Trade value is based on excessive wear, tear, and mileage plus tax, tag, title, and $9.95 dock fee. Offer ends 4/1/2024.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. Now, you've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
The Veterans Access to Care bill, now in the Alabama State Legislature, will relieve the overwhelmed federal VA healthcare system and provide the specially tailored care that veterans need.
Paid for by the Alabama Council of Chapters Military Officers Association of America, Mobile.
I'm with Miss Dot at the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall. How was your anniversary sale, Dot?
It was just wonderful, and I want to thank everybody that came out. It was a great time. It meant so much to me. for it to be 30 years, and y'all just came out and made my day.
Well, spring is almost here. Is Eastbrook ready?
We're beginning to get the patio tables and chairs out. We've got so much there, it's hard to put it into a minute commercial. You just got to come see what we got. You know, we've got 3 floors and 60,000 square feet. So just come see us, because we probably got a sale or 2 going, and our merchandise is pretty reasonable, I think. We don't charge a commission to the vendors, and so our prices are able to be a little bit less than some other places.
Give us those hours of operation.
Monday through Friday, 10 until 6. Saturday, 9 until 6. And Sunday is 12:30 to 4:30.
That's the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall, 425 Coliseum Boulevard.
So y'all come on by and see us. We'd love to have you.
This is Matt Woodham with Woodham Southside Firestone. As a businessman, you need to watch your advertising dollar. We've been using Blue Water Broadcasting for many years. Blue Water Broadcasting is the biggest bang for your buck. Blue Water Broadcasting and Woodham Southside Firestone, great combination.
Now you can add the power of digital advertising to the #1 reach of radio. Let Blue Water's 20 years of local advertising and marketing success show you how. Grow your business with a complete suite of digital solutions, combined with the reach of the most listened to radio group in the River region. Call us or go to BlueWaterBroadcasting.com to find out how we can increase your return on investment. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. It's time to get your cooling system ready for the long, hot summer. Call today about the advantages of the Clark Club membership to be sure you're covered. Call 277-2125. Better call Clark. Alabama certification number 09098.
Rich Thomas weather. Well, hi, everybody. I think radar will continue active well into the evening and nighttime hours tonight with the risk of showers and thunderstorms. And the overnight low temperature tonight down to about 56. Now, tomorrow, Saturday, there could be a shower left over early in the morning, but I think we see improvement by Saturday afternoon with a high around 69. And I think Sunday's a good day with highs in the lower 70s and plenty of sunshine. And our next chance of showers coming in Monday night into Tuesday. Showers and thunderstorms. We'll keep an eye on that storm system. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
This spring, mow with the flow with a Kubota zero-turn mower. John Bobo with Capital Tractor. Kubota Z232 puts power where you need it, when you need it. Save now with our spring specials. Powering Alabama, Capital Tractor, Montgomery, Brundage, and Greenville.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. And we have Crawdad on the line here wanting to talk to Craig. Has a question for Craig. Hey, Crawdad, how you doing?
Good afternoon, Craig. I was catching up on things, and most interesting conversation. You lit a lot of light bulbs in my head here. I wanted to know how I can find more information. Do you have a podcast or a how do I listen to more? I'm a seeker. I'm wanting to learn as much as I can, and I'm interested in what you have to say. Your name again, please, Craig.
Yeah, you said it for my name. You broke up there. Did you ask for my name?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's Craig Monger. It's nice to meet you.
The last name again, please.
Monger, Monger.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right,
Mr.
and to answer your question, so I mean, what are you looking for? Something specific, or just maybe an in general study guide? Is it more focused on apologetics, say like a defense of the Christian faith? Like, what are you looking for?
I'm looking at it from the alpha to the end. I'm just I'm learning and listening to everything I can, and I like what you have had to say. Do you have how do I find more information? Listening, pray. I can read. I can see things on the internet. I can listen to the radio. I won't bore you with all my talking.
No.
or into listening and learning.
So, Crawdad, can I ask you a question? Do you have Audible?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, perfect.
I don't have a reader, but you know.
Well, I mean, it's the Audible, like you can
The
listen to
audiobooks.
it. You can listen to the audiobooks. What I would
Right.
recommend, and this is my go-to for a sort of soup to nuts systematic theology explanation of the faith, it's called Foundations by R.C. Sproul.
Did you say sound like sound or F as in faith?
F as in faith, Foundations.
Okay, I'm writing the wrong word here. This letter F. Foundations.
Yes, by the late and great R, capital R, period, C, period, Sproul. Sproul.
Sproul.
Yes, sir. And that is, like I said, it is a soup to nuts, beginning to end, like you said, alpha to omega explanation of the Christian faith. It's obviously a bird's eye view. I think the total length of it is like 18 hours. So it's a series of lectures, but it is available on Audible. But luckily, it's only one credit, and you get a wealth of knowledge in there. And I have always and consistently sent people who were curious to that, because that was how I got my start. And R.C. Sproul, obviously, who has since gone to be with the Lord, was probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, blessing to the Christian church of the 20th century. And he's greatly missed in these times, I can tell you. And even if you just want to miss from that, if you just YouTube his name, R.C. Sproul, you will find a lot of very fascinating discussions and topics on that. I think R.C. Sproul is the best starting point for anyone who's interested.
Great. I know about the YouTube. Yes, that's great. Oh, R.C. Sproul. I will sure take a look at that. And you guys were. I'll be quick because I know Joey's a very busy man here with meaning the question. But when you got my attention, you guys were talking about the about the red heifer, and the first thing that popped in my mind is this big corporation that is out of Denmark in Copenhagen. They decided to be really good up there in Copenhagen to adopt their modem, not model, their logo, which is another Greek word, logos. They wanted that it's the Apis bull. That's their motto, Apis bull, as a corporate logo in Denmark, of all things. Do you know about Apis bull?
Opus Bull? No, that's not something I'm familiar with.
Check it out. APIS and then bull. That's their logo. That goes all the way back to Kemet, before even First Dynasty, really, Egypt.
So it's Coptic?
And they're using that. It's a magical thing. It's our corporation stuff is all over the place, spitting out non-Christian things. Anyway, you got me. You guys, you got my attention talking about that, and I thought, okay, the Apis bull is one. APIS. I had a fantastic. When I went to Egypt one time, I had a fantastic, enlightening visiting the church there, Church of Saint Macarius, Saint Mark. Visiting Egypt, it was fantastic. So I am definitely interested in learning as much as I can.
Well, thank you, Crawdad. Really
Thanks,
appreciate
Crawdad.
it.
Thank you, Crawdaddy.
And let's go to, we got him early. Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Well, I'm fighting the tropical 85 right now, or 65.
65, yeah.
Man,
Yikes.
65 South's hurt right now.
I'm telling you what, it's a mess.
Yep.
But hey, a couple of things I want to talk about today. If you need floors, call us 285-8117 as always. The other day when I did that interview, and the caller came in at the end of the day, Adam.
Yeah.
And I challenged him to sit down and talk with me, and we did yesterday. And we really had a good conversation. It was really nice. We had a good time. We talked about different things and different viewpoints. But I just wanted to say that I think we both just had the wrong impression of each other. And anything I might have said against him or to make him feel bad, I do apologize for that, and I take that back.
Okay.
Now we got another thing to talk about.
All right.
This troll.
Yeah.
It's hitting Monday morning.
Good.
So if you have not gone to the Primal Carpet website, y'all need to come on, get on there, read the rules. Morgan's over this thing, so don't call the guys and harass them. They don't know. If your kids go to school with Sailor, she definitely doesn't know. So just go out there and find it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay.
And you get $1,000.
$1,000.
Whoever brings it to me first gets $1,000.
Yep.
Well, I hope folks play the game because that's a heck of a prize right there. And again, 285-8117, folks, is the number for Primal Carpet. Be sure to tell them you heard Ray here on the show.
Hey, y'all have a great day.
You have a great weekend, Ray.
God bless.
Yeah, and we got another quick break, and we could finish up to the library thing. My biggest takeaway, especially after seeing my name in print, I wouldn't have seen it if, our fellow friend Jeff didn't send it my way, is I kept coming back to, damn it, this is a local library.
Yeah.
And the beauty of local government should be that it's not somebody on the other side of the world.
Right.
It's not somebody you're just talking to through a screen. Sit down. Let's figure this out. And so hearing Ray say that, good. It at least means that local government's somewhat working. I just get... what kind of set me off on this, because I've been loosely following it as the saga's ongoing, is when I saw the director on CNN, and I'm like, really?
Yeah, well, they like to make martyrs out of just about everyone that they can, especially when it suits their purposes. Because when democracy fails, martyrdom works. Because they want democracy, and then it's like, oh wait, you appointed a board that we don't like. Tisk tisk, that shan't do. And then now we have to go and try to get national attention to show you what meanies we are. Shame on Alabama.
Well, we got to hit this break. More news and views after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
At Guardian Credit Union, we believe that banking should be personal, just like the relationships we build with members. Imagine a place where you're not just a credit score, but a valued part of our community. At Guardian, our dedicated team takes the time to listen, understand, and tailor financial solutions that fit your unique needs. From buying a car to saving for college and even starting a small business, we've got you covered. Come experience the Guardian difference and let's achieve your financial goals together. Guardian Credit Union, where you belong. Federally insured by NCUA.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back, folks, to News and Views in the afternoon. Again, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And they're at Montgomery Men's Health. They're ready to help you fellas out if you are experiencing, well, any problems unique to men, but especially if you have low testosterone. But here's the deal. A lot of guys don't know they have low testosterone. We're men. We grin and bear it. We just soldier on. I don't need to go to the doctor. But if you are, gentlemen, feeling a lack of motivation, energy, and drive, including sex drive, feel like you're going through your life in a fog, knowing whether or not you have low T is huge in combating these issues. And in fact, there are a lot of guys who just don't know they have it. That's why you need to go by Montgomery Men's Health, and they'll conduct a testosterone-focused lab workup plus a consultation for only $99. And they have low T treatments there that can truly change lives. Men can experience higher energy, better gains at the gym. Brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism. You usually even notice an increased libido.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
There's a lot right with it. You can actually book the same day that you call. Guys, it's time to feel amazing and hit your goals this year. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today. There's breaking news. At least 40 people have been killed in a mass shooting and explosion in a Moscow city, as 5 heavily armed gunmen in combat clothing fired into a crowd listening to a concert at the historic venue. In what is the worst terror attack in Russia in 2 decades, sources told the Daily Mirror the current toll is at least 40 dead, but likely will be much higher. 5 mystery gunmen opened fire on a crowd of around 100, many of whom were trapped in the complex. Some of the attackers were filmed as they left the building, opening fire and executing a number of victims at near point-blank range. The cold-blooded attackers, wearing combat fatigues, hit the Crocus City Hall, a large concert venue on the western edge of the capital. A large blast was also heard, as well as assault rifles being fired. It was also reported that a mall nearby was set on fire and plumes of black smoke were rising above the venue. Some of the crowd are believed to have fled to a basement to seek refuge, but it is feared others may be cut off on the 4th floor, trapped by the fire below. It is believed security services and police have been ordered to launch a major lockdown in the city. Ooh.
Wonder who did that.
Yeah. And I've been trying to say this for now years. It's been going on for 2 years at least. What the Russians shouldn't have invaded, if you're thinking about basic decency. But as far as winning, what happens when the Russians start losing, or when they start losing lives like that? Like, just saying, we're playing with fire, man. Like, we'll see where it goes and what the response is going to be. That's horrific.
It's not
War
good.
is horrific, but that's horrific.
That, and specifically because that kind of thing doesn't happen in Russia. It just doesn't.
Right.
So for them, I have a feeling the retribution will be not fun. And that's terrifying. And that might be what they were going for.
Exactly right. Well, let's try to fit Roger in here. Sorry to lead off with that before we went to you, Roger, but what's up?
Peaches, Roger.
Well, that didn't work very well, but does a nuclear power ever lose a war?
That's a good point.
But actually, I was going back to your commercial about the testosterone. Didn't I hear you say earlier this week that AOC was a hottie again?
Yeah, I think she is objectively attractive despite you conservatives.
You need to lay off the testosterone. Anymore. Until you find that gal's got an ass, an axe handle wide, and looks like a mule coming towards you.
What's wrong with that?
You know how wide an axe handle is? That's what they used to call baby maker. No, it's just wrong.
Okay, Roger.
Quick question for you. I'm picking up my steer. I fed out a steer 989 hanging weight. It's been aged 28 days at 33 degrees. So I have got a choice of ribeye, top sirloin, or chuck eye. Which one should it be tonight, Joey?
I always go with ribeye, baby.
Yeah.
I will let you know how the old steer came out.
Hey, pass the Dutchie.
Wow, that sounds good. Appreciate it, Roger.
Thank you, Roger.
Bye.
Wow. I guess I've been duly chasing. I just think, like, I've been having this argument with Greg Budell for like 5-6 years now. AOC is objectively hot. And I'm not saying her politics is correct.
I don't think she's an attractive woman at all.
Thank you.
I just don't.
Yeah, we're just such fools, so blind.
Well, I mean, her eyes look like her head is perpetually stuck in a vice.
You know, some people find googly eyes attractive.
Yeah.
Not everybody. Not everybody.
Aliens and Mongol.
Have I mentioned my self-loathing? Hey, line 3, you're on the air. Who's this?
Hey, Joey, this is Kevin. I was just calling to ask you what city you're talking about.
In Moscow. We're on the edge of Moscow.
Bueller.
Are you there, Kevin?
I think you lost him.
Yeah, I think we.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, but there's something. My phone's breaking up, or something's wrong. But that's all I needed to know. I'll have a great weekend, man. See you.
See you, bud.
When you said Moscow, I was like, Moscow, Idaho?
Yeah, right.
Because didn't they have like that like student murders in Moscow, Idaho, not too long ago, or quite recently?
Yeah,
actually?
that was
Yeah.
Because he's fixed to go on trial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So, what a show today.
Yeah.
I feel like we learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, I appreciate both of you for being here. And I'm ready for the weekend now.
Yeah, man. Bring on the weekend.
Everybody's working for the weekend.
Gonna have to go hang out by myself and watch some AOC committee hearing footage.
Sorry to hear that. You mad at yourself?
It's not a crime. It's a category. Did you see the Bobulinski clip this
Rico.
week?
No, I did not.
Oh, it's so good.
Rico.
It's so good. Yeah.
I at my committee meetings, I usually get yelled at in the committee meetings.
She says, Mr. Bobulinski, what crime did you see him commit? He's like, I don't know, Rico. And she's like, you don't have an answer. He said, yeah, Rico. You obviously don't know what it is. It's not a crime. It's a category. Like, she broke up that word for some reason.
Yeah, but she.
And I'm like, oh, say it again.
She eats chicken fingers on TikTok. She's a boob. She's an objectively stupid person.
Yes.
Who I wouldn't let pump my gas, much less run a congressional district.
Thank you.
And on that note, happy hour with Greg Budell. Well, they're next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM.